everyone. Welcome to Ascension, episode 26. Wow.
I think it's 26, yeah.
Yeah. Been
really far in.
Yeah.
It's exactly half a year's worth of,
Yeah, last episode we had an epic battle and lots of crying. we'll see if there's going to be more crying today. I don't know. I don't think so.
Very, very close to death.
And very close to death. Also, the most... Oh, I have all the cameras in a weird spot. Sorry.
Bentham is wearing his waterproof mascara. I did check, so...
Right, I was Dave for a second. The list.
The list.
Welcome to the gun show.
You don't even need me here anymore. That was it. That's it. The list.
I can do Bentham. I can do Bentham.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Oh, yeah, because you have a mix.
That's cheating.
I am a little sick, so I apologize in advance for if I cough. I will try to mute myself. But
Mackie, we've known you for a while. We know you're a bit sick, but we accept you. Everything.
It's funny. I went straight to Lil Wayne. I'm ill, not sick.
Anyway, hi.
Intro.
Yeah, we have a new guest for today and the next few episodes. We've got Katie. Katie Peters Plays.
Hello.
Hi. Who are you? What do you do?
Her character looks awesome too.
Thank you. I'm Katie Peters Plays. I play a lot of horror and space games on my channel. I do a lot of tabletop, and I've done a lot in the last 2 years. And so I'm just excited to be here. I've always wanted to be on a Roll For It show. So thanks for having me.
I've watched Katie on a lot of things. So definitely go watch Katie on other stuff. I think I even sent you a message one time. I was like, oh my God, that performance was so good.
I know. It made me feel so special. I was like, Maggie sent me a message. So I don't know.
I love, like, first of all, space. And then I love, like, creepy stuff. So the mix of that show is just amazing. So I loved watching it. But
yeah,
definitely.
That's my aesthetic. Just creepy and space like.
Yeah, I'm into both of those things too. So fellow friend.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to today's episode.
Yeah, she'll be with us wrapping up the end of the year.
Yeah, which is also where I consider the end of this like chapter of the current story to kind of end, and then we'll start in the next chapter soon. So announcements, shilling, etc. We'll go through the announcements to begin with. Firstly, Finley Shards. Thank you very much for supporting today's episode and paying the majority of the cast cost today. So thank you very much, Finley, for allowing us to do all of the things and do the stuff and get the guests
and all of the
that.
other support you give us, Finley.
Yeah, and all the other support.
Just you're crazy in a good way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My mixer is working again, so I had to do that. Secondly, the Last Ditch final character sheets are now out on Patreon. So if you want to go check out the final character sheets of the Last Ditch, you can do so over on the Patreon if you are a party tier or above.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So go do that.
For season 1, we are doing a season 2 coming 2021 because we know a lot of people are like, it's over. No, it's not over. There's more.
It just takes time for the Imperial Guard to move from planet to planet.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The warp just takes time.
It's like Final Fantasy. We will have the Last Ditch 17, and we'll just keep going.
With a completely different setting and cast.
Is it really the Last Ditch if there's continually more Last Ditches?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. How many different times can you have the Final Fantasy?
I mean, you just call it Additional Ditches. Is the spin-off series.
Appendice ditches. Do like a Tolkien book. Have 200 episodes of appendices to your first season. Also, there's a holiday surprise. Fill out your address on the Patreon post. There is a holiday surprise thing. We do this every year. If you want to go check it out, you can do so over on the Patreon. If you're a Patreon person, go fill out the thing. If you've been here before, you remember what it's about. If you've not been here before and you're patroning for the first patroning for the first time this year, feel free to go check out the post and have a look, and you'll get the surprise.
It's a good one this year. It's going to be fun.
I'm very excited.
It's not a good one every year.
It's a good one every year, but this one might be my favorite.
It's got special reasons why it's good.
Yeah. It's dear to my heart.
2 words: tasteful nudes.
No, that's the role for OnlyFans we're working on.
This is better to say, yes.
The Pengo fans, remember?
But it's artful. It's artful.
If we hit
shadow.
Only pangs.
Yeah, only pangs.
Only pangs.
It's just Pietro in like different poses with different little bikini and monocle.
A monocle.
A little top hat. A little robe, like a little fur robe.
It's just this different pangolin fetish photo.
Yeah.
It's like close up of the
It's a
pangolin
niche
feet.
market, but it's got
Close up.
little
Oh, the
pangolin
little
feet.
pangolin feet.
Yeah,
I'm
little
so-
pangolin feet, and like the comment would definitely be something like, "I bet you'll dig this."
Oh, I like it.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'm done.
There we go, like-
yep, that's it. You've lost. I'm finished. Okay.
I love it. Oh my
Also,
gosh.
if you're a GM tier or above, you can go check out the Golthius tree from last week. The stats have been posted. The multi-epic, mythic, converting, multiple move tree thing that they killed particularly brutally in the end.
It almost
is
killed
now-
us.
It had
A few
it coming.
times, yeah.
There was a
There was
time
some
when my
bleed-ups.
character was like, should we go run away? Because I'm like, I'm a high-end character. We probably should run away.
You burned through so much healing, you got down to the, I guess we have a berry around here somewhere. Where did
Yeah.
I put the berry?
Bentham's
Chuck it into his
character,
mouth, close the drawer.
Karen, had like 1 HP, and he was like, no, we will fight it. And Arena's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I
when you were like,
guess.
should we run? I was like, no,
doing
like
the whole.
we will die in this cave. Like, no, like one way or another, this ends today.
I was doing the whole like raise sword, close eyes, wait to die thing, and then I just didn't die.
Because Parrot,
Yeah.
because
Great.
Mecha Pangolin.
Yeah, no, I got so
Control
close,
saved it.
but yeah. So yeah, well done. If you want to go see that complicated beast and then talk about it in the Ascension chat on the Discord, feel free to tell me how ridiculously over the top it is compared to the level. They killed it.
Warning:
so,
if you want to like run it against your table, E was calculating the CR to be roughly
Oh, yeah.
12. 9 once adjusted for the contributions of Urzu Cogdir at the start of the fight.
This party can punch definitely above their weight, so I was like, yeah, I can probably take this.
We
The
give-
difference is,
He took
FYI,
He took 3 CRs off of it. Damn.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all we all dish it a lot better. Well, let me rephrase. Our ability to dish and our ability to take is like distributed non-linearly here.
Here's
but-
the thing. In my quick view on D&D monsters is that in general, high level attack CR, because it divides the CR into attack and defense, is dumb because it can just 1 or 2 shot characters.
Yeah.
But high level defense is generally fine because characters can actually hit that quite regularly.
problem
so the
that
defense
we
and the attack
had-
for that is
The major
very different.
problem that we had was that Dave, who is our tank, just couldn't get threat. And so, like,
yeah.
because he couldn't get threat, like, normally he always has threat and he just tanks and, like, he changes shape and he just has infinite HP. But, like, he just couldn't get threat. And so, like, the little babies that we are getting smacked and we're like, ow!
I'm just like, I'm not meant to tank, no.
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
although-
ouch, it hurts.
do let me ask you this though: if you calibrated that, because I apologize, we did talk briefly in the after show, but this is a new question.
We
If
didn't
you
have an after show
calibrated-
last episode.
Oh, we didn't have an after
That's
show.
why I
That's
feel
true.
like we have so many emotions right now.
So if you'd calibrated it to CR12, had you accounted for a set of circumstances in which we didn't rescue Urzu in time and we're just boned with the demon tree?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of what happened. So,
Okay, right. Good
I mean,
times.
its offensive CR was 8. So it wasn't too far above you in terms of offensive CR.
Got it.
But
Well-
its defensive CR was 12. So.
The good news is we'll see it in hell. And
Will we?
probably.
Does it have a
Literally.
soul? Does the tree have a soul? Do trees have
I mean,
souls?
if it does, I took it from it. So
If-
we
if
won't
No,
any
because
tree-
you don't
If any
go.
tree has a soul, that one did.
It doesn't. You don't go to. You don't go to like another existence if you don't have a soul, right? Like in this world.
I think we
So-
both know
so
that thing is in the
certain-
Shadowfell. That thing is in the Shadowfell now.
I double checked what the general lore is because there are a couple of actual D&D spells that reference people's souls and then say what the target is. Certain undeads have souls, like vampires have souls. Very little else has souls in terms of undead. So plants wouldn't because they're blights. And then it was a soul to begin with. Anyway, we should get into it. I think that's all the announcements and stuff. Shilling. If you want to see more after shows, we can talk about the Patreon. This is kind of like the quick mini after show that I'm sure Katie's like, what's going on? This is normally after the show. So Bentham, you want to talk about the shilling today?
Yes, so the way that Rolfrit is able to do the things, keep the lights on, pay its cast, and all that kind of thing, and feed the various pets. That
Yeah,
we
we keep
all
our
have,
lights
which
on like
there are
this.
many.
If you don't Patreonize us, then this happens. Alexa, turn off the studio lights.
No, it does look like you're gonna tell a spooky
two went
story
off,
now,
and I'm
though.
like, oh, there we go, nice effect. And then
The
it all
problem
went
is my
pitch black.
camera is so good, you can kind of still see me.
Yeah,
This is
spooky
probably
story.
such a good camera.
Mhm.
Not if my monitor is crap.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, you are there though.
Or if you have 6 monitors, it just usually lights you. Or at least mine light me up. So like even if I turn the light off, it's still like a glow.
This is the lowest ISO on this camera as well. Like this lens is amazing. This lens is solid lens. No autofocus though. Anyway, sorry.
So to make sure that the Alexa can keep the lights on, you can support us on Patreon. There's a whole bunch of different tiers that give you a whole bunch of different rewards, including one unlimited to MP3s of all of our shows, after shows that we record after every show. We talk about what happened in the show, or sometimes go off on completely unrelated tangents about other things. We've had arguments about food recently and other random stuff like that. You can also get character sheets, enemy character sheets, other behind-the-scenes GM secret things like the tower floors, of course. You can also submit names for NPCs that will get used by one of our GMs in a random show, and stuff like that. And if you're crazy, you can support at the Legend tier and get to take part in a once-monthly game gemmed by a member of the Roll For It cast. And if you're even more crazy, you can support at Deity tier, in which case we run out of things that we can even do, and we make you a personal video thanking you for supporting us. Because
Talking about vacuum cleaners and how they're laundering money.
yeah, well, yeah. Then we in those we go off on even more wacky tangents than we do in after shows, because there's no like topic to fall back on. We just meander through the through various.
I'm pretty sure
conversations. We
many
talk
of them
about
have
the
featured.
weirdest stuff. Yeah, that's how you know he's sleep deprived is when the hand puppet comes out. Where's mine at the moment? I think I put it away. But yeah, those are the ways you can support us on Patreon. There's also other stuff too. You can support us on Twitch. You can drop us some bits; they'll appear in the cup. You can put lots of bits in there, or like just one big bit, and that'll either fill it or empty it. And I don't know, have fun with physics and do all that stuff. You can also give us tips. They'll appear on the screen, and we'll read them out at the end of the show to thank you for being awesome and supporting the episode. And of course, you can become a Twitch subscriber. That gives you emotes and badges and immediate access to the Twitch vaults, whereas normally you'd have to wait 24 hours for us to put the videos up onto YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you can also become a YouTube member, which gives you emotes and badges over there. And by the way, there's more emotes now. There's now 6, because we had a couple more people sign up, so we unlocked another slot there. So we got 6 emotes now. And also, yeah, you get a badge which you can show off in comment sections to confuse people that don't know what YouTube membership is, and all that kind of thing. Oh, I got an emote thanks to Enter Elysium's subscription. I'm gonna thank him for that. Don't know who that guy is.
Hey, you can do subscriptions? So cool. That sounds like a great way to support us.
But yeah, being a YouTube member, a Twitch subscriber, or a Patreon supporter will give you access to our Discord. We can hang out with other fans of the show and us and talk about all the things. And we super appreciate seeing people chatting there. And we super appreciate hearing from you in any way that you can. So the Twitch chat, the YouTube comments, or like tweets or Facebooks or Reddits. We love all of it, and we try and read it all. So please do that. And also, generally when you do that, algorithms like us.
Lockdown mood.
Yeah.
It is fair.
I pretty much respond to anybody who tweets at us. So.
Remember when you could go to a place that other people were at? Those were the days. Anyway.
I can now.
That dates the episode, so people could be like, it's from the dark times. It's from 2020. Yeah, those are all the things you can do. We super appreciate it. Just watching is already supporting us in a lot of ways, because algorithms really like that. And also bring along your friends as well. Tell them about what we're doing and see if they're into it too. Yeah, that's all the things. Let's go.
Okay. So, recap. Last week and the week before, they went down into the ruins of Old Garas below the town of Oleona, where they had started off initially, and then their journeys took them elsewhere, and then come back to try and find Urzu Cogdir. I don't know why I typed Ezra earlier. It's Urzu. Urzu Cogdir, the grandfather of Irina, Maggie's character. They had gone down into the bowels looking for both Urzu and for a tree, the Golthius tree, which is kind of a progenitor to all blights in the world. They found the tree. They unfortunately also found Urzu, but they were not quick enough to save Urzu from certain death. So unfortunately Urzu died, but they did defeat the tree. After a huge battle, they also then found out a number of things, including that after a very touching scene with a lot of crying, Urzu had been instrumental in overthrowing Nerul and implementing the Raven Queen as the new god of death. Also, that apparently the steel behemoth that had broken and been destroyed and left its ruins around the city, or the town, which was mentioned at the very beginning of the campaign, seemingly had other functions involving cities and humans and things that Perrin had started to ruminate about. And also that reality near the tree was ripped apart into what appeared to be tears into the astral plane. With that, they then just decided that everything was a bit much. They were going to take the body to the surface so they could give him a proper cremation. They also took some loot, and they headed to the surface. And the last we left off with was the cremation of Melusina, Urzu Cogdir, the destruction of the remains of the Gulthias tree, which the Raven Queen had requested the party do. And then a voice in Perrin's head. So, that seems like a good place to rejoin.
Oh, and cliffhangers.
Right.
Does this work? No, it's way too high pitched. There we go.
That's
Sorry,
you
no,
talking to me.
I am your
That's
god.
That's the voice in my head.
I lost my settings for the.
There we go. I lost my settings for the voice changer when it crashed the other week, so.
It's me, Erithis, do a vengeance.
Me! I've been behind it all along! So,
Wait, Erithus has been Pietro this entire time?
you didn't know?
He is awakened. If we didn't mention that, Pietro's awakened now.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Due to the magical effects and the weirdness going on near the tears in reality, they seem to react psychically to people's emotions. And one of the things that happened was that the anguish caused in the fight, and by the emotions going through Arena, rippled out, causing apparently Pietro to suddenly become awakened. And Pietro now has an int of 10 and can understand 2 languages, Common and Sylvan, fluently. So you now have a pangolin who is quite fluent in a language with one of the... I don't think the party has Sylvan.
No, we don't have Sylvan,
No.
but our companion did. Vanya did.
Vanya did at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you have an extra language in the party, thanks to...
RNG's? I just can't
Yeah.
believe that RNG just like continued the story of Pietro, like that the
That's why I
chat
took
wanted.
a picture of the dice
I
roll
was
set.
just like,
that's-
what? This is just crazy. But you got what you wanted, chat. You got what you wanted.
Yeah. So I'm sure there'll be a scene where you probably need to talk to Pietro and be like, so, you're intelligent now.
Yeah.
We need to talk about how the world works.
Yeah. E and I had
Who am I?
some.
What is my purpose in the world?
E and I had some chats about Pietro, and obviously, like, we'll see how the journey goes. I'm up for whatever happens in the RP.
Okay. So, as it is night, you watch the flames crackle high over the pyre as you commit both Melusina and Urzu Cogdir to the embrace of the Raven Queen. Smoke is going pretty much straight up with a very slight tilt to it, as there's a very faint, constant breeze coming from the inland. But other than that, it is deathly quiet, as everyone gives a silence. Perrin, however, you hear a voice clear as a bell in your head that doesn't seem to come through your ears and just immediately goes straight to your brain. You can hear it clear as day.
Perrin Veldurel. I can hear you.
Hello?
You have been on quite a journey. Personal one. And one with wider implications for this world.
Who are you?
Let's just say you wear part of me around your neck.
He, reaches into his cloak and grabs hold of the symbol of Erithus. It's an honor. Do you ask something of me?
You found something in the ruins of the old city. And you are smart enough to know what you found.
I was right, wasn't I?
You were.
I can see the reasoning. Creating your own race. Building them to turn all offspring into them. Eventually you will take over the world with a species very much focused on building cities and civilization, and I suppose technology.
Their adaptability and their short lifespan certainly tend humanity towards cooperation, civilization.
A fitting revenge for how your realm was treated.
Because of the nature of the conversation, you don't get tone quite so much in the same way you would normally. And while nothing is said in response, you can very much understand what can only be described as almost like the flavor of a smile. Psychically, you get this impression that the other end of the conversation is very much smiling at that mention of revenge.
I would ask one thing of you. In return, I will take a more hands-on approach to your piety.
Whatever you ask.
We must collapse the caves leading back to that place. No one must know the true purpose of those steel bear moths, or trace them back.
I see. It pains me to destroy a relic of the past, but I understand if it's your will.
You need not destroy it so much as make sure you bury the entrance. Someday it may be of use again. Much of it is lost from this plane anyway. You've probably guessed that much of what that bear moth was now lies on the other side of the astral gate.
I will do what I can.
Thank you. In return, you may ask me a question. I cannot guarantee I can give you an honest or straightforward answer.
Baron's like, oh crap, what do I ask? Well, I guess there's so many things I could ask. You know, I imagine about the comings and goings of all your followers.
With limitations. The divine ban we reinforced after the cataclysm makes things difficult.
Of course. My father, I fear he has plans to act rashly, cause himself more harm than good. You know if he's okay, and if he will continue to be?
The future is less my domain, but I can give you a general indication. The path he treads is a dangerous one. He seeks vengeance, seeks his civilization back, but he is not one equipped for it. Not like us. He is okay for now. The path he travels is one that he will not survive. By himself.
I want the same thing as he does. I'll make sure he doesn't get himself killed failing to do it.
Very well. You have my blessing, Arnvelderel. What you go up against is well out of your league. Tread softly. Be cautious.
I understand.
I must leave you. This is not my domain. And there is influence of another here. Travel safe.
Thank you.
You feel the presence recede from your mind.
Oh. I don't imagine this is a thing I can do, so I probably won't bother trying to like insight to check if they were my god. I imagine that even if they weren't, they would be powerful enough that I wouldn't be able to tell.
I mean, if it was some like kid who somehow gained telepathy and they had a really low insight score, maybe, but maybe it's up to you if you want insight.
I guess I'll try. Maybe I look around to see if like I can see if there's anyone who's like.
Do it.
Sure, make an insight roll if you see Professor Xavier just, chilling.
I don't think this will amount to anything, but 18.
No, doesn't seem to be anyone around particularly looking at you funny or anything like that.
Perrin just kind of looks around furtively in the middle of this funeral and is like. And then let's go of his Erithis pendant and pats it under his cloak. And spends the rest of the funeral deep in thought, working out how he can head back to the ruins of Garas and collapse a tunnel on his own without telling anyone what he's doing.
Okay. So, we're going to have about a day or two pass as you just recover from the experiences you went through, say goodbye to your family, etc. I think there are a few things that people want to do.
I go through the stages of grief. That's what's happening.
Yeah, all 5 of them really quick.
All 5 of them really quick.
All at the same time, you were both depressed, angry, in bargaining, denial, and which one am I missing?
Accepting.
Accepting. There we go. All at the same time.
Well, the weird thing about bargaining is that, like, it worked. We're like, maybe he can still come back, and the Raven Queen's like, all right, he's back for like 5 minutes, guys.
No. Raven Queen will never let him come back, but we'll give him an extended stay pass. You know, it's like a visa extension.
At 1,000 ravens a minute.
A vital exposition visa is what he got there right at the end. Two things. One, would like to find some the dedicated servant of the Raven Queen, maybe a high priest Antok, and get a remove curse on this frickin' blood-sucking breastplate.
Okay. Considering the amount of work you've put in for them, they won't charge anything. Effectively, this falls under them being it actually falls perfectly within the rules in Tasha's for having a what's it called? A parent organization that what they called a like a sugar daddy organization. I can't remember what they called.
A patron?
Patron, that's it.
Yep.
I was like, sugar daddy?
The word we
Like,
all
what?
forget is the word
Hey,
patron.
daddy.
I mean,
Like, what?
True. I mean, I'll be a sugar baby to the Raven Queen. It's fine.
I like to imagine now that like one of the gods is just like sugar daddy patron.
That's Asmodeus. We all know
Oh,
that's Asmodeus.
yeah, that is probably
Asmodeus.
It's
Is
a new way of
everybody's
putting
sugar
it.
daddy.
You-
That is all
like-
true. Yes,
If you go to the theater, you're a sugar daddy of the arts.
that is true.
Yeah, your warlocks don't pick patients; they pick
That's
sugar
a
daddies.
different kind
Sure.
of sugar.
Very classy. Very classy.
Anyway, and they just need you. Like they just take you to any one of their clerics who can cast a level 3 cleric spell. So for the purposes of this, you'll briefly meet a cleric who can do that. I guess much earlier than expected. You'll be led to a half elf. Who would you like to describe your character, Katie?
I was like, wow. Okay. My character's name is Cyrus Chiron, and she is very pale. She's a half elf, so she has like slightly pointed ears, very hollowed out eyes with, you look really closely, like capillaries veining off around her eyes. And she looks like she's wary, but she holds herself like she's very strong. She's wrapped in a dark robe with a silver rope tied around her waist, and a brooch that of a raven is on her lapel. She's clutching a prayer book to her chest, and she has a sickle just clutched in her left hand down by her side. And I think as you approach her, she's just has her prayer book open, and she's just reading it quietly to herself.
Greetings, cleric. Might you assist me with something?
What ails you, my child?
Although this armor has delivered me safely through yet another battle, unfortunately, I cannot remove it, and I would like to.
I'll help you, of course. I close my book, and I lay my hands on the breastplate and attempt to remove the curse so he can remove it.
It's kind of like a dark carapace chitinous breastplate that seems to have like these small holes where it's almost like if you look at meat where like the veins and stuff have run through it, and you can see these little holes that seem to be sunk into the wood of Gatton's flesh wood, being a warforged, and they seem to be sucking some sort of life out of him to sustain the breastplate. As you place your hands on it, you can kind of feel that energy within a living object that seems to be on him. You want to cast Remove Curse?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay. With that, you can kind of feel it shift almost organically under your fingers as there's a slight sucking sound of the actual like feeder tubes that have gone into Gatton just pulling back out, and the breastplate just goes clunk off.
Does that feel better?
Quite. You must be a cleric of some power. We could have used you during the battle before.
No? I have many talents.
Now that the curse is removed, is the thing also, hey, cheers. L'chaim. Is the breastplate still? What was the curse component? Was it the living and the blood sucking, or just the fact I couldn't take it off, or like what is actually
Curse
changed?
two things. Firstly, you cannot unattune to it while it's cursed on you. Curse is active. And secondly, the taking of a hit dice. Technically, you can still continue to wear that, and it'll be a +1 breastplate, but will require attunement still. It just, you can take it off now, you can unattune from it at will, and it won't take a hit die. If you take it off and you give it to someone else, they will immediately become cursed by it again, though.
Oh, it'll get. Oh, so even I can't give it to Perrin, or it'll be recursed. Oh, because that was.
As soon as when you become attuned to it, it just curses you, like as part of its very nature. It does the thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's too
Doesn't
bad.
matter anyway. I did the numbers, and it's less armor than my current armor.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, for the record, I was going to try and hook up a homie. Although I just put this down, and I begin the process of attuning to the telepathic crystal again.
Okay.
And I look at Cyrus and I say, the struggle was costly, but victory was achieved. Now that, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that is good.
Although now that the demon tree has been destroyed, I assume the Raven Queen's adherents will be going their separate ways. Is there something else that is keeping you in the area?
I go where I am told to go. And now that the tree is gone, I have to find out what my next step is.
Might I impress upon you as a holy person? My friend lost someone very dear to her. I do not know how to assist her in the process of grief.
I can help with that.
To me, Urzu died a warrior. There is no higher achievement. But my friend's heart is broken, which perhaps you might help repair.
You see a smile cross my face. Death is only the beginning of a new journey. I can help her. Where is she?
When she says death is the beginning of a new journey, Gadden thinks back to all the undead he's fought. It's like, But I do just slowly lead her over to Arena. And I just say, Arena, this cleric has assisted me greatly. Perhaps she might be of some assistance to you. Cyrus, this is Arena Cogdeer.
Arena extends her hand. Little tiny, she's a little forest gnome, about 2 feet, 7 inches.
I extend my hand out to meet hers and shake it. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
I hear that you're not doing so well.
I'm okay.
Did you lose someone close to you?
I did. I have lost many people who are close to me, but this one is the hardest one, I think. My grandfather was my hero.
So you lost your grandfather then?
She nods.
I would sit down on the ground next to her. Tell me about him.
Her eyes kind of like well up a little bit, and she tells you some stories about her grandfather.
It sounds like he was of great importance in your life.
And in a lot of other people's too.
And she
So
kind of like
is-
looks around as you can. Are we at the funeral?
This will be just afterwards. I imagine, knowing Arena, she's probably just watching the ashes as they kind of settle down.
Okay. Yeah, and there were a lot of people at the funeral. Like the entire town came out.
I look over at the ashes settling. It's always hardest when it's fresh. But if you imagine those ashes getting stirred up by the wind, and they'll float off and land in other parts of the world, and he'll leave his mark there too.
Arena smiles and like a tear kind of trickles down her cheek and she kind of wipes it away.
His soul will always be around. And I look up at the sky. And if you ever need, you can always talk to him, and he will hear you.
And she nods and blinks, and more tears come down, and she tries to wipe them away.
I see if she's receptive to me putting my hand on her shoulder.
Yeah, she'll accept that.
Arena, make a perception roll.
Uh-oh.
or intelligence perception. I know this is the weird one, but if you want, roll intelligence. If you're proficient in perception, add the perception bonus to it.
I am proficient in intelligence.
Are you proficient with perception?
Or perception, I meant intelligence.
Okay. Yeah, then just roll any one of your intelligence skills that you're proficient with, yeah.
I meant to say I'm proficient with perception, but I was looking at intelligence. I'll just roll it, and then we can add my... So... Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Nat one. I have
your eyes well up, and you're just a little bit overcome with emotions at the time. Although, that said...
Makes a lot of sense. You're not quite using your brain when you're emotional sometimes.
Also, if
Nat
Cirrus wants to roll an intelligence check, you may do so as well, considering you're also here.
And theoretically, I'd stayed in the area, so it's something I can notice.
Okay.
Yeah, this is specific to their conversation, though, and the very certain thing.
I have a feeling I know.
You notice it. In the night sky above, you can kind of see into the Nyx, into the astral plane. You can see each individual constellation of the gods, except for the Traveler, who just has one star that constantly moves around the heavens. And you can see the Raven of the Raven Queen. You can catch the certain stars, and you can match them up, and you can make out the constellation associated with her. With one difference. At the tip of the beak, there seems to be a new star. Very faint, but there is an additional star now in the constellation.
When I look up to follow the ashes, I notice that the tip of the beak hasn't, because I look at this constellation a lot. In fact, I think, and I point up to the constellation. If you look, do you see the Raven Queen's stars?
And I guess now that she's pointed it out, I also
it
probably
takes a little
look
bit of
at it a
rubbing
lot.
of the tears away from your eyes because you got a nat one, but like you know the constellation, you will see it given 5-10 seconds to wipe your eyes.
Yeah, Arena like rubs her eyes, and as she blinks and more tears fall down her face, and she tries to like wipe them away.
There's a new star right at the tip. It means that your grandfather's settled.
Just kind of cries more, tears that trickle down her cheeks, and she tries to wipe them away again.
You really think that is him?
I look at it a lot, and I notice when something new. When there's death, not always a new star appears, but tonight there is. So if you're lonely or you miss him, at night look up and you can see him.
Arena will like squeeze your hand if you allow.
Oh, yeah. I squeeze back.
This time she kind of like looks up at the sky and like she lets the tears kind of come down her eyes and she's just like,
I miss him a lot, but I know he's with my grandmother. They belong together.
Death is often viewed as the end of everything, but if you look around our world, how many people are hurt? Your friend had a curse placed on him. But after you die, all of that is gone, and you can finally rest. So now your grandfather's resting with your grandmother.
and she just kind of sniffles and more tears trickle down her face, but this time she doesn't wipe them away.
Sometimes people say it's not good to cry, but I think it's very good to cry. It shows that they made an impact on you.
I don't cry all the time, I promise. But I'm very sad. I know I should be happy for them, but I will miss him a lot.
It's okay for you to be sad. There'll be a presence that was part of your material world that is no longer, but now, just think he'll be with you wherever you go.
She nods and like sniffs and wipes away her tears.
I'll be here if you need me.
I'm sorry. I didn't get your name.
My name is Cyrus.
Thank you, Cyrus. Your words mean a lot to me. A lot more than you will ever know.
Would you like me to sit with you?
She nods and kind of like scoops her arm around yours if you let her and just kind of like leans in.
Yeah, I kind of comfortingly hold her and just sit quietly next to her as she grieves the loss of her grandfather.
She kind of like looks up at the star and just starts kind of like telling you a story about her grandfather, and through her tears she smiles and tries to stay happy as much as she possibly can.
I listen and smile slightly because her grief is turning into a remembrance of him versus just the sorrowful feelings that she has, and there's a part of me that feels like, okay, I'm accomplishing what I was hoping to make her feel comforted.
Mark down, both of you have a d6 that you can spend on any d20 roll. That was very sweet. Okay. So, anything anyone wants to do over the next couple of days apart from cry? Gatton?
I know Bentham has stuff, but at some point, Gatton is going to try and sleep. He doesn't know what, if anything, has changed with the reaping blade, especially having destroyed the tree that it came from, and so he can give it a shot because he doesn't usually sleep. So at some point, he's going to try that. And probably we need to inventory whatever we took from the tree, because we were like, you were like, there's magic things, and we were like, we take the stuff, but
yeah, you probably need to find a time to approach Arena and be like, Arena, I know you're really sad and going for a funeral, but can you cast Identify a few times? And maybe just like give her a day. But yeah, it's it's interesting trying to sleep. As a Warforged, you don't sleep, but you can try and just go into a sensory deprivation, trying to shut off all external stimuli, encase yourself in darkness, trying to muffle noise. Make me a wisdom saving throw to kind of represent trying to get to a state of sensory deprivation enough to be able to concentrate on the sword.
I would ask Pew to help me with this if he can too. I'm unaware how to shut down cognitive processing like the humans do.
Pew can't really help you, but he can start playing like some white noise in the background.
Exactly. He's gonna sing a lullaby. All right.
5,639 sheep. 5,640 sheep.
I apologize because my sheet wasn't cooperating at the time. What save did you ask for? Sorry.
Wisdom.
Let's see. I don't know if this is good for me or bad for me. I'm like, if it is high or low good. Let's see.
7. Because you're going to hear a couple of nights, you can try this twice. So the first time, you can't quite get into like a deep enough state to really engage with it. There's a bit too much noise in the background as people are merrymaking, drinking, celebrating the passing of Urzu, etc.
So I attempt to get really drunk when it doesn't work the first time. I'm like, oh, I've seen Arena do this.
I don't think that would help or hinder particularly, but you can certainly try again.
I can't verify. It can help.
It is
Also,
a certain type
oddly,
of sensory deprivation.
Arena's not drinking away her sorrows anymore.
Duh.
Make me another wisdom saving throw then.
You know, I was going to say it's funny to have to exert effort to sleep, but that's also my life. So, hey.
22. Okay. With that. Also, I can stop the holy music because this is going to be creepy music.
Oh, good. So what you're saying is I'm never going to sleep again. Good. Tried it once. Thanks. I hate it.
So with that, you find yourself in one of the tents set up by the Followers of the Raven Queen outside of town. It's quiet to hear. You can vaguely hear like the chirping of insects, the occasional flutter of birds, even the odd movement of one of the anvil-wrought creatures in the distance as it kind of poorly oiled joints move. And as you try and focus and try and shut down all external sensory apparatus and just focus inwardly on the blade in your lap, you begin to feel something. And it's certainly something alien, something outside of you, but it's sensation, emotion, something that is processing from somewhere else. It's definitely not from inside you. And then there's a touch of fear, maybe even terror, anguish, and then flashes of images, memory. You see a face of what appears to be a relatively young man, human, wearing dark clothing, couple of long knives sheathed around his hips and up his side underneath his arm, crouched over. Then you catch a glimpse of him in what appears to be a shop. It's nighttime, there's no one around, and he's slowly opening drawers of what appears to be a set of thieves' tools. Then you see images of him, again, this time on a boat. He's being attacked by what appears to be sun elves, from what you can recall of meeting them last time. And then another flash. In chains, being led through dark hallways, lit with overly bright lamps that cast shadows. And then into what appears to be a large room made from what would be like a hemisphere. There are multiple little alcoves and almost like balconies, but each one is just filled with lights and they're all shining down. And as he's placed onto a table, a large metal spike, which you've seen before, is taken, placed over his heart by one sun elf in robes, very elaborate, with a hammer, and then bang, and the memory shuts off. And then you get just mental emotions, no physical stimuli, no visual stuff. You just get torment, anguish, pain, fear. And you realize that this is what apparently the soul that you last absorbed into the blade felt.
Do I feel like he was existing in that state of torment before, or being in the sword is a state of torment?
Part of the process of being absorbed into the spike, which is what you then absorb the soul from, is probably the torment. His current state in the sword, you can't quite tell. It appears like there's this very fuzzy gray area where as soon as you have kind of absorbed that into the sword, as you can't tell.
And there's no sign of the tree or anything else, because theoretically this guy and the fiend are the only ones that are in here, right? I didn't take anything else having killed the tree with the sword.
I believe so, yeah. It's just those two.
Okay. I stay with it until I wake up, and when I do wake up, I tell Perrin all of that.
Okay. I guess that night, Perrin, do you want to sneak off?
Yeah, I'm imagining, like, in the TV show of this that runs in my head, this, like, it was a nice combined montage of, like, Gatton's vision with Perrin's deeds.
Okay. Would you like to strip off your armor and have a sneak?
Oh yeah, I guess I would need to not be in chainmail for this. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, make a stealth roll then.
Alright. Nailed it. 1.
Okay. You sneak off. A few people notice you.
I just walk. I'm totally being sneaky. I'm not even wearing my chainmail, and everyone's just like, "Hi, Perrin, where you going? It's a bit late."
Yep. I think Cyrus definitely notices you, and on the way back, could potentially have a talk with you. But you pop down. You want to collapse the tunnels, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Perrin kind of walks the path, being wary because there could still be things down here, and works out like the best spot to cause a cave-in that would be hard to ever shift. And all the time as he's going, once he's out of town, he's muttering to himself, "So I could have asked about Gatton. I could have asked about the Raven Queen. There's so many things I could have. Why didn't I just? I can just go to Near Dearth. I'm going anyway."
Okay. I guess figuring out engineering to collapse the structure is probably just going to be a int roll. So.
All right.
Yeah, you might need the person who could probably make explosives. Me.
Yep. 10.
I love the implication you feel like Gatton wouldn't have helped you destroy everything down here.
Yeah.
Perrin has been charged with keeping a secret by his god. He's taking it very seriously.
Fair enough.
You could probably collapse certain sections of the passageway. They weren't particularly stable to begin with. There is a risk that you might get buried, to put it bluntly.
I may have that covered. Actually, I'm not sure if it would work. Like if the thing was coming down on me, would I be able to like do a bonus action before I got?
No,
crushed to
bonus
death?
action isn't a reaction.
I was wondering. Because I have Misty Step, so I could like if
you are buried,
I
but
can
able
be
to
like
cast Misty Step, then you can still Misty Step out from being buried.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to be able to. I believe you need to be able to see the target of where you're going to teleport to. So you just need to be able to see and do the casting actions.
Yeah, I imagine there's some cool moments because like, is it possible to divine smite structures, or is it specific to living beings?
Read the text. It'll tell you if it's against a creature or if it's just on any attack roll. I believe it's any attack roll.
Oh,
any
it's
melee
a
attack.
creature.
Ah, sorry.
I wanted to divine smite like a wall, because imagine it's like you drive the sword in and then it glows and there's like that cracking sound is like light snakes through the rock and then it explodes. It'd be cool.
Sorry,
Again,
apparently
TV show
you were
in my
given these
head, it
divine
looks
gifts
really
not
epic.
for just joining a demolition crew. Okay. Also, using your sword to hit divine structures is probably not a good idea.
Is it divine? It's just as like
Oh
collapsed
well,
as
it's
it
not
was.
divine. It's just a cave. But you have a sword. It's not a magic sword. Your sword will probably just snap.
Yeah.
So would you like to try with your entrenching tool or something to dig away at this
yeah, I have a
structure and
shovel.
collapse it?
Oh, I've got a pickaxe, I think, actually.
You've got a pickaxe as well. You've been holding out on me this entire time when we've been talking about digging.
Let me check. Yeah, I've got a miner's pick as well as a shovel. It's not come up. I don't usually need to break rock.
Okay, yeah, you could quite easily do this. You've got the right tools. You give me a strength check.
There it is. 21. I'm better at this.
Okay, and then make a dexterity saving throw as the entire thing.
I'm bad at this.
Big chunks of like rock start falling down.
Ooh, 17.
However, you manage to like quickly step backwards as huge sections of the ceiling fall down, blocking the tunnel, and making it kind of difficult to figure out which way you were meant to go from here anyway. So anyone trying to retunnel this area will have difficulty trying to reconnect passages. Job done. And I imagine it's probably as you were exiting that Cyrus spots you again and is like, if you want to approach and ask Perrin what he's doing now covered in dust, that's up to you. But whether you want to just note it for future is also an option.
I think I would watch. I'd be just observant, and, like he would know I saw him,
Okay.
but I don't walk over and ask questions.
Like he exits and like is dusting himself off, locks up, and you're just right there, like, and you just like
It's like I'll remember this later kind of thing.
the
NPC thing where it's like,
Yeah.
she will remember this.
Yes.
Whoops.
In which case you gain the ability that I've added to your sheet.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Your
Your
piety.
screen loads. New ability attained. No, just kidding. This is my vision of Ascension as a video game.
Who's Ifara?
Oh, change that to Aerith.
It's like,
New god, who dis? No, I'm just kidding. You're now worshiping a new god.
That's cool.
Ooh. Gonna
Then
share
it-
with the rest of the
take us-
class, or is it secret?
I think I'll keep it secret. It's cool. Does it take a spell slot?
No,
Nice.
it's an ability, so it doesn't require a spell slot to use it.
Yeah. Just wanted to be sure. I have one use.
Yes, sadly your int isn't particularly high.
Yes, we'll find out soon. This is going to be very useful, actually.
Okay, there's also, before you get to, I guess, going through the loot, Maggie, do you want to pop back to your granddad's?
Yeah, I think there's time where she goes to her grandfather's house. Probably not like right away, but in that week after. It's probably like her and her. That's my father's father, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Cogdeer. Probably with her father.
Okay. You go through a lot of the things, trying to slowly sort through them. Your dad particularly does want you there because you're an adventurer, he's not. You might understand some of these things better. And as you're going through, you find under the bed what appears at first like a simple grip, like from a very small short sword or a dagger, with just appears to be a metal rod out of the end, which is slightly flattened on one side. And as you touch it, you can feel it kind of react, and there is an inscription around the actual base of the handle.
What does it read?
It says, you just pull it up.
Your handout or something? Or you just
there will be a
looking-
handout for this once we use the identifier on it.
It's a lightsaber. Yes. Someone in chat said it.
Oh dear.
I put it in my
not a
hand and it's
lightsaber.
zoom.
Do not point it at your face.
It says property of Rella Pink Branch.
That is my grandmother's name. Right? It's been a while since I've heard that name, so I was like, that's my grandmother's name, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And as you inspect it closer, you realize that this appears to be an item of old tech. You can see the actual cylinder of metal that comes off appears to be composed of many different filaments, which are all tightly wound together. And as you touch it and poke it and try and move it, it seems particularly solid. But as you look at the grip, there are a number of little switches and flicks that you can alter the position of around the very top of the grip. And as you push and pull them, the actual elements that make up that cylinder begin to just move and reform. And you turn it into what appears to be like a screwdriver. The end of the actual cylinder just forms into like a flathead. And then you give it a few flicks, it turns into a crosshead screwdriver. You give it a few flicks, and then it seems to turn into like a longer, flatter object, which you then figure out that's a file, a metal file. You give it a few flicks, and then it turns into a wood file, a few more flicks, and this time it actually extends outwards into like a bowed section, and the actual straight bit up the center becomes flat and then serrated. It's a handsaw. And you give it a few more flicks, and eventually, over time, you figure out, oh, it can turn into a hammer, chisel, a rudimentary set of sewing kit utensils, like needles for sewing. But it's also been enchanted. It appears to be an item of old tech that someone has combined with technology. It will require an attunement.
Is this like hearsay? Am I using some like heretical tool?
It's not heretical, but it is an interesting crossover. If you want to, you may attune to it, but because I assume you're going to cast Identify on it, here you go. It is a all-purpose tool, which you can find in the uncommon item handout section.
Okay. All right. I will train for people.
This simple screwdriver can transform into a variety of tools. As an action, you can touch the item and transform it into any type of artisan's tool of your choice.
Does it make a sonic whistling noise when she does this?
A little bit. There is like a slight high-pitched sound as the individual filaments vibrate
Doctor
enough
Who
to then
vibes.
become malleable and switch location.
So I just like the record to show it wasn't a lightsaber, but it was a freaking sonic screwdriver, and
Yeah.
I think that is equally valid.
Yeah.
And it also gives a +1 to your spell attack and saving throw DCs of artificer spells.
Ooh.
So it
Just
can be
like-
any artisan's tool, in addition to a +1 to DC and attack rolls of artisan spells.
That's kind of incredible.
Oh.
That's an
I
incredible.
have to be like holding it in my hand or just attuned to it?
To use what section?
To use the +1 bonus to spell attack rolls.
When holding this tool. So you have to
Okay,
hold
so I
it.
have to hold it. Okay. Interesting. And I think my hand crossbow or my light crossbow requires
Well,
two
you need to be
hands.
holding a tool anyway to cast because your casting focus is a any artisan tool, I believe.
It's my tinkering tool stuff, I think. Cool.
It can be a tinkering tool. It can also be like thieves tools and stuff. I think it's any tool.
Yeah, but I think in my canon it is like
Yeah, you probably use them. Like those are the first tinker's tools you got.
Yeah.
And now you have your grandmother's.
Arena kind of in awe of this device. I think at one point just like hugs it. And I don't know if like we want to RP it, but she probably asks her father if he knows about it or had seen his grandma or his mom using it.
Okay. You were up there for a little while hugging it, and your father eventually makes his way. It's not upstairs because, again, it's a very small, out-of-the-way cottage that your grandfather owned outside of the city, outside of the town. And so he makes his way into the back room where you're, like, sitting next to the bed, clutching this. What was your accent for Arena again? Please key me in.
Like, I've been crying Arena, which is like a very different vibe.
Very different, yeah.
Father, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, Arena. It is just a lot to go through, you know? There is a lot of life that he has left behind.
This is very true. You'll be very much missed.
What is it you have found there?
I think it belongs to grandmother.
And she kind of like makes it do a bunch of weird stuff and then hands it to him.
Have you ever seen it before?
She used it, the accent's slipping today, I don't know why. Have you ever seen him use it before? Okay. I believe I have seen him use it once or twice when I was much younger. It is the tool she would use to sew my clothes back together when we were much younger.
Huh. Do you think that she got it from somewhere, or did she make it?
I suspect she found it somewhere, but I do not know. Also, make me an Arcana check.
$15.
15, kind of the DC I was looking for. Looking at it and some of the runes on it are very much... They're the sort of stuff that you would do. You've seen like powerful magical items, or you've seen combinations of runes that people have written in places, and they've been fancy and in-depth and overly complicated to the state where you know you couldn't reproduce them. These runes, not on that level. There may be a little more complex than you could do, but not a lot. This item seems to be like Artificer's first big project type item.
Like
as
my
opposed
Mecha
to
Pietro.
like almost in that region. Yeah, as opposed to, something much more complicated that would be, something, someone who's very experienced in producing magic items has made.
Would it be okay if I keep it?
Arena, we have very little use for these. You probably have far more that you can do with this.
She like holds it close to her and smiles.
Plus, you probably have something of your grandmother's anyway.
Rena has a moment where, like, if anyone has any insight, probably knows that there's like a moment where she's like, I have something else, but catches herself and just nods, and then stands up, puts the box on the table or on the bed, and kind of looks around the room a little bit more and looks at her father and says,
You know, someone else once told me that even though he's not here with us, he's still here with us. Hear it?
I know, and it is something that it helps assuage losing him. He hugs you.
She hugs him back, and I think like the two of them kind of like look over at like a little painting that has his grandmother or his mom and dad and him in it, and it's just the three of them. And Arena kind of like walks over to the painting and says,
I think you should keep this one. You all look so happy in it.
Thank you. I think that you should have this. We found it in one of the drawers. He hands you over a small locket.
ooh. Arena
And inside, as you
looks at it.
pick it open, it's got what appears to be an image of your grandfather and grandmother. They certainly look younger in this. And they kind of give this weird holographic 3D vibe as you kind of move the locket back and forth, like a very crude enchantment. But as you kind of shake it back and forth and you move your hand over it, you can see the image wobbles and then shifts sideways. And now it's a picture of your father when he was much younger. And he's smiling. That very young smile of someone over their heels, like completely head over heels in love. And he's holding your mother. And in their arms, they've got a little baby.
Is it
You flick it
me?
sideways again. No, that would probably be your brother.
Brother, okay.
Look it sideways again. And now it's a picture of 4 people. Both your parents still very happy, but you can definitely tell there's those lines coming in of tiredness as they now have another baby, this one held by your father, and your mother's got her hand on the shoulder of a smaller 20-year-old gnomish boy who looks very impetuous. Like, there's very much a look of, why am I here having to stay still for this person to finish the enchantment? And you flick it sideways again, and now there's a whole menagerie of cogdeers, which you are much more familiar with. You may even vaguely remember this one being taken. This was only probably about 20 years ago, maybe a little less.
I'm imagining this, like, you know, the Harry Potter, like the images, like on the on the magazines and stuff like that, like the newspapers.
But certainly, as you shift it back and forth, that 3D-ness does appear to have a slight, like, 1 or 2 second time shift. Like there has been a second or two captured. You can ever so slightly see the facial expressions slightly change over the course of that 1 or 2 seconds as you shift it back and forth.
Arena unlocks the chain and kind of like hands it to her father and turns around and like moves her hair out of, like, her crazy curly red hair out of the way so that he can put the necklace around her.
It takes your dad good 40 seconds because he's getting old trying to like get the chain like properly locked in, but he does and kind of lies down on your chest. Now you have a locket of the Cogdeer family. You can add that to your character sheet.
Yeah, and she holds it in her hand and she says,
I will keep this with me. Thank you.
Make a perception check.
check. 12. Not very perceptive. There's a lot of emotions going on. RNG knows.
Okay.
Well, I guess
So-
like I help my father like organize everything, and
Yeah.
we kind of like look over all the other stuff and remember memories and talk about them. And it's kind of like, even though it's sad, like we are making it as happy as we possibly can by talking about the memories of my grandfather and going through his stuff, which is not easy.
So did anyone else want to do anything over the couple of days? Other than just go through what you gathered from down below.
Boots.
I did
And
take
I-
one
I-
of the cog ravens that someone mentioned, but yeah, I do need to look it over the loots for Gotten, who's like waiting very patiently. He's like, is she done grieving yet? How long does this process take?
I mean, hey, maybe throwing yourself back into your work's a good way to move on, you know?
And that is exactly how Arena does it.
Yep. And I will, and I do share with Perrin what I saw from the Sun Elves in that whole thing.
So wielding the sword perhaps is giving you a connection to those who've been claimed by it.
Apparently so. I didn't notice before now because I do not sleep as such.
Perhaps there's a value of that. Allows you to know your enemy.
Indeed.
Admittedly, enemies that you've slain, but if they're part of a larger thing, then
That
there's
is true.
insights to be gained.
It has already given me more insight about the Sun Elves that we did not possess previously.
Yeah, useful. Good to bear in mind. I guess you can try sleeping a little bit more often and see what happens.
Can't say that I'm a fan. By the way, have you been reading your dream journal?
Not recently actually. I should take a look at it in case anything interesting's come up.
A number of things have happened as of late. Might be an interesting record to check. You fought very bravely down there, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You did as well. If anyone wasn't there, we wouldn't have made it.
Yes. I believe was Urzu Cogdeer's last use of his strength that allowed us to prevail. I only wish we could have managed to extract him in Melusina.
Yeah.
Still, they died warriors' deaths.
Much was lost.
Where to now? We were here to stop this scourge, to make sure that the Cogdeers were safe, and we now know that they are. Shall we travel to your homeland then?
It's been a long time, but I think it's finally time to visit home. I'm worried about my family. I've left them to their own devices for perhaps a bit too long. I've tried to stay in touch, but something to be said for being in person, especially when you can't trust that the letters you send won't be read by someone else before they get to where they're going.
True. And of course, after we verified that your family is safe, the Empress has made arrangements for us to enter the tower there.
As if she has the right, but I suppose that's how things are.
I have found strength and coin are the only rights. Although, have you met this cleric? She seems fascinating. She helped me get free from this, and I hand up the carapace and I say, I'd intended to give it to you, but I'm afraid that the scourge would infect you instead.
No, that's fair. I'll make do with this stuff, and I pat the chainmail.
Still,
I prefer non-cursed armor personally.
As do I. But as I said, she helped me and helped Irina. Probably worth making her acquaintance.
Is the cleric here, or?
I believe that is her. She may be in her meditations currently, but I think she would stop to meet a holy warrior such as yourself.
Yes, we did bump into each other briefly.
I may need to create a new list of holy warriors. I assure you, you would place quite favorably.
I appreciate that. I guess it's something of a specific list, but still.
I'm imagining how many Gatten lists there are to finding Irina a significant other.
It's true.
It's like Hello Magazine. Every month there is a new list, and like there's just the list of hottest male paladins, list of most attractive clerical characters, list of, like, and then there's the intersectional lists where they do the top of the list.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's like that Vox.com, it's like, latest Holy Warrior rankings explained, and then it's like by demographics, by height, attractiveness.
If Gatten was a YouTuber, it would be like S tier Holy Warriors, A tier Holy Warriors.
100%. Yep. You're placing respectably in like the 85th, 90th percentile, Baron. And I would take him to meet our new cleric friend.
Okay. In between when you last saw Perrin and now, Cyrus, you've been told that there has been a cave-in in the ruins down below, so they can no longer get to the section where the tree was defeated, but they're happy that the adventurers brought most of the ruins and remains up and had them burned. But it has been noted.
Okay.
You might have noted roughly when that happened.
Okay.
But Gatton comes back, this time bringing who you now know as Perrin Velderel, no longer covered in dust, wearing his chainmail.
I'm sitting there reading my prayer book with my head down.
A pleasure to meet you properly, Perrin Velderel.
Oh, hello. And I close the book kind of loudly and pull it close to my chest. It's nice to officially meet you, Perrin. And I extend my hand.
Yeah, I shake it. I heard you've been of some assistance to my friends. I'm glad that you were able to help out Irina.
Yes, is she doing better?
I think she'll be all right.
Good.
She's had to deal with a lot of loss and stress in recent times.
I can tell that her heart is heavy. She's lucky to have friends like you.
Still, I can't help in a spiritual sense so much. My allegiance is unfortunately elsewhere.
It's all right. We can have differences. What have you been up to since you've been here?
The main focus was dealing with the tree. We fought it once before and failed, so we came in much better prepared this time.
The talk around town is everyone's very thankful. We can move past this.
I'm only sorry that I wasn't here in the meantime. The town has suffered in certain ways since I left.
And again, the death of some things can be a new beginning for others.
Speaking of new beginnings, we will be traveling soon. If you are heading in the direction that we are going, Cyrus, you are welcome to accompany us.
Where are you headed next on your journey?
We intend to travel south to Near-Earth.
I may accompany you. It's not safe to travel around these parts, so it might be my next mission to come with you to get you where you're going.
We'd appreciate the extra help.
When do you leave?
Oh, next couple of days, I suppose. I look over again.
Yes, we are giving Irina time to visit with her family. We don't know when our travels will bring us this way again.
Yeah, we've got to take stock of our supplies and the aftermath of the fight, and I've got one or two things to attend to. But it shouldn't be long before we're on our way again. Hate to leave the town.
You very much say again, it's like eyes narrow.
Oh my gosh, I'm waiting for that scene. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm be sad to be leaving the town once again, and I'm not sure of the quality of the hands I'd be leaving it in, but I need to travel south.
You should take your time here.
Just kind of fidgeting with an empty glass bottle that's hanging from his belt.
Do I notice that?
Probably he's just kind of idly.
Okay.
What did Cyrus say?
You should take as much time as you need here before you leave. If you said you don't know when you'll be coming back, and my eyes travel down and see his hands fidgeting on the empty bottle, and then I meet his gaze once again. You can call on me when it's time to start.
I want to make sure I get some good supplies before we go.
What kind of
Yes.
supplies? Maybe I can help.
Health potions is the main concern. We ran through a few of them, and I always like to keep at least one to hand. Not sure if
Alright.
there are any good providers of them in the town.
There's a couple.
Too bad Mahira does not sell health potions. At least her drinks are stout. Gadden sort of looks around, realizing, that this was his home too for a long time, and he probably won't be back for a while. So he's like, I'm going to walk across the countryside again, visit some of my friends in the trees and bushes. When Arena's prepared to take inventory of our new findings, please let me know.
Could I
Alright.
perhaps go on that walk with you? At Arena?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It's good to reconcile before taking the next step.
Suppose it's different for me. In my case, I'm heading home.
That's exciting. Are you looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to seeing my family again. I'm a little bit more, the rest of the experience will be interesting.
And I will do my best to deliver you there safely.
The last time I was in Near Earth, it was, under different management.
Side note. Everyone here will be aware of Near Earth being one of the, if not the biggest city in the north of the continent. 8 years ago, it was invaded by the Marin Empire, and the city of Near Earth was taken by them, and is now controlled by the Marin Empire.
New challenges, but I'm sure that's nothing that you can't handle.
Gonna be quite a trip down memory lane, that's for sure.
It can be a long walk, but sometimes it's a good one.
Well, I should get ready.
It was lovely to meet you, Perrin.
Yes, I look forward to traveling with you.
You as well. It was good to see you again, Gatton. Are you feeling better?
Pleasure. Better rested, having not slept.
That's good.
Did we recover our ring from Vanya?
Yeah, Vanya would have disappeared, basically. You would have seen her at the funeral, and then when you next look for her, she would just be gone, and there'll be a little envelope with a ring in it.
Oh, we
Work
don't
was
have
done.
to, planet, whatever you call it, where we like combine our rings together.
Summon ring!
Yeah,
true.
summon ring.
So I pulled this ring out and I say, when we travel together, this helps us keep an eye on one another and how we're doing. And hold it out to her.
It's a small silver band with what appears to be a red stone set in the top.
That is beautiful.
If we travel too far apart, it gives us the same indication as being dead, so maybe don't panic if Arena and I suddenly wink out of existence.
Oh, that is good to know. It's like a bond.
A symbol of one, yes.
And she slips the ring onto her finger.
As soon as you slip it on, the gem goes from red to blue, and you become aware of, mechanically speaking, everyone's HP who's also wearing a ring, so you know the exact HP of the rest of your party. Provided they're
for
within,
me,
I believe,
'cause I'm
the
not-
distances.
I'm not within distance.
You're not close enough. Yeah. You know that there is another ring, and the recipient is at 0 HP as far as it reads. If they're beyond range, it just reads them as 0 HP.
Okay. Since you just told me that, I probably don't think anything of it.
I used the telepathic crystal to say to Perrin, she is not as durable as anticipated. Perhaps I hope I did not make an error by asking her to accompany us.
Of course he would say that because he's like analytical about everything. That's great.
Well, with any luck, we won't encounter much trouble along the way.
That has not been our experience heretofore. But back out loud, I just say to you, enjoy your evening. We will meet again shortly.
Thank you. You too as well. And I open my book again and start immediately reading.
And I go find Arena to try and get her out of the house, get some fresh air.
Yeah, Rena will join you. She'd rather do that than look at the pile of items. She's probably like going through and cataloging the items that we've gotten. And then like if there's other stuff that we can like give to people, like charity donation wise, because there's probably other extra stuff, right? We do that. She's like filing those too.
Because you have, detect magic and identify, you can easily go, which one's a magic? And then you can identify those ones. So you could have done this in like half an hour. So I'll give you a list now right before you go out to your walk. Firstly, you've got your all-purpose tool, which you got from the house. But from down below, you got 3 things that would be considered magical. One of which appears to be, at first glance, this urn that contains a orangey metallic sort of liquid, which is very thick, almost like molten metal that seems to radiate like a slight amount of heat. The other ones are a ring, which is kind of like a granite coloration with what appears to be like the knuckles of a fist embossed on the front, and around the side is what appears to be tiny gyroscopes, very small, set into the ring themselves, and all the gyroscopes are currently still and not moving. And the last one is a box of cigars with 5 of the 6 cigars in it. One of them is missing. Each of the cigars seems to be embossed with the symbol of the Traveler on the center band with a ribbon around it, and each of the ribbons is a different color. As you use Identify, you will be aware of the nature of each of them. So I'm going to start dropping the items into your...
The stream's having a struggle, apparently.
Okay.
My internet might go out, I don't know.
Everyone's saying we were kind of freezing and unfreezing.
It's moving on mine.
Yeah, we'll get 30 seconds just for it to like level out, and then if it's still level, we'll continue.
Seems like we're good now.
It's really interesting.
I was seeing it
it's
as
definitely
well as,
an
like,
internet thing because my CPU usage is at 1.1%, so it's not my CPU. It's definitely internet.
The resolution is
keeps
plummeted,
down.
but it is. I mean, we are broadcasting.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sorry, podcast people. Our visual resolution has plummeted, but you all can still hear us loud and clear.
The podcast only section of the show.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. You have to subscribe to the podcast to hear the loot we got.
Yeah, it's still dropping frames.
Yeah.
Who needs frames? Yep. No, it froze again.
Slight impromptu, just for the podcast. Slight impromptu segue to a mini after mid show. Katie, what are you drinking?
I know it looks like it's an alcoholic beverage, but it's a kombucha. And it's a mango passion fruit.
Oh, actually,
flavor.
people were asking what you were drinking, Dave, because they always see you drinking like energy drinks, and they were wondering if you had ever had Bang before. I think is what they had mentioned. You both are drinking Monsters.
Yeah, we're both they're the same. I usually drink the Blue Monster, but I got today's the
only
white
one
Monster.
I can easily get in bulk from the supermarket. If I go there and like cart them myself, I can get blue, red, and green, which are good.
I only do the sugar-free ones. Okay, so I've about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did have a Bang Energy because I ran out of Monster, so I drank it as my holdout drink. I was up until 6 o'clock the next day from that stuff, and this is like me. I have like quite a tolerance, so I'm like, if that Bang affected me like that, like I have no idea. Like most people would be like.
I'm trying to think of the one that they've got at my gym. I think it's Noco or something. And And that, I was like, the first time I had Nocco, I was like, I was in a rush. I'd got to the gym, I hadn't had my drink, I just bought a Nocco, and then was like, glug, 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 empty stomach. And then was like,
Yeah.
oh god, how does this have like 3 times the amount of caffeine of normal energy drinks?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so that was
I also didn't realize the half-life of caffeine is like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah,
So it
sounds
takes
about right.
a long time to wear off. I didn't realize it was quite long.
Yeah. Apples have a lot of caffeine naturally too. I would say I felt about buying energy the way Gatton feels about sleeping. Like, okay, check that off the list.
Yeah.
I won't be doing that again unless circumstances are dire.
I think the best plan is for us to go to break now for 8 minutes. So it'll be a slightly
it's been
early
getting
break.
worse.
Yeah, it'll be a slightly early break, and if it fixes itself in 8 minutes, we can come back and we'll be golden. So just
Or
a
I
slightly
might
early
have to
break.
drop the stream and bring it back, like restart my router. I don't know.
Yeah.
My significant other
I think
is
that's probably
looking...
the best bet. We'll do that during the break.
Okay. Sorry, Rick. You're gonna have to do editing again. Yeah, okay, we'll be right back.
BRB.
That was such a good bit too.
There we go. That's working.
So-
Do it again.
If I rage and then I take out Perrin before he can smite me, but I use the Reaping Blade on him and steal his soul, I'll be able to smite. Oh, never mind. Hang on. Wait, are we back?
There we go. We're back now.
Oh,
You can make the joke again. It was funny the
No, it's awkward.
26th time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, we're
live
sorry
improv.
for the internet problems sometimes. That's the first time it's happened in a long time.
That was speed scene rebuilding.
Thank you, EE, for taking over.
Luckily, I've still got. I haven't hosted a show in months.
I know.
I've been.
I was actually thinking about how I run all the like broadcast production now, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
When it used to be you, used to be the other way
Yeah.
around.
Anyway, right, we're back.
swag.
If anything goes horrifically wrong with the overlay, just
Yeah, it's
poke
fine.
one of the mods and get them to shout at me until I fix it. Right. So I believe you were going through magic items at the time we left. So
Yeah,
there
I
is
don't
a
know what
jug.
they heard because
Yeah,
it
I'll
was
go through from
lagging
top.
out. Yeah.
So there's a jug, a ceramic jug of what appears to be like molten metal. It appears to be you've got Arena there. It appears to be molten bronze. It's magical. You've also got a ring with a fist embossed on the front. You can see like the knuckles on the ring itself. And then around the edge, there are multiple little, tiny little gyroscopes, all of which are currently still. But you can see that, like, they've got the ring sections. All of them are flat into the ring, and you can kind of see a little hole in the center. But there are little pinions and stuff that they can, like, rotate around, but they're all very still at the moment. And then finally, there is a box of cigars that contains 5 out of 6 cigars. And it says on the front, if I go find it, Traveler's Self-Lighting Cigar Box. Inside, there are 5 cigars of one space, so there's a 6th one that's been used. Each of them has the symbol of the Traveler, the little door with a road embossed in the center with a ring of ribbon around it, and each of the ribbons is a different color. You've got 5 different colored cigars as well.
I'm kind of mad at the traveling tower situation, so I throw that in the garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
In addition, you have
meme with the scroll of truth.
A diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Oh.
You have 762 gold pieces, or gold pieces,
Ooh.
silver pieces, platinum pieces, but
Cash.
roughly gold. A few of those would be trade ingots, so it's equivalent of gold. Yes, cash. And then you have several art objects, which, because Perrin can just evaluate instantly the value of an art object, these are historical artifacts, pieces of antiquity, etc., that you've got from down in the cavern, worth altogether at full price, which you can trade them for to the right buyer, 2,400 gold pieces.
Ooh,
Trade those. Get
he's a man
yourself
of
some
culture and
armor,
taste.
son.
Yeah.
Like, just trade it and go get some armor, because we really need you to have some armor.
What can I get with that? Hang on.
Probably 1 set of armor.
Well, wait, we gotta find out what these items do. Something might already help.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of those were armor pieces.
Then I'm good. I'll have 18 AC and it'll be wonderful.
Well, but something still might give an AC bonus, though.
Which one did you want to cast Identify on first?
I mean, all of them eventually. So.
Oh yeah, but just which one would you like first on the basis of dealer's choice?
I'm kind
Just
of
start at the top.
I still just think about the Daleks. Identify.
Okay.
Identify.
So you would like to start from the top, so the jug of molten metal. As you cast Identify on this, you realize it is a quite powerful magical item, attuned to the divine magic of the god Onatar, otherwise known as Moradin to the dwarves. It is known as molten bronze skin. This metal this is a quite high level ability, but it has been melted, and then while molten, it has been enchanted to stay molten, and then reform over whoever attunes to it to provide a metallic armored layer that still moves with the wearer.
Oh, maybe that would be helpful for you, Bentham.
What was it? I missed it.
I think he's going to give us access to all the items on the...
Yep. It's molten armor skin. You'll be like the T-1000, but with a squishy center.
Yep.
I'll be like the Terminator from the recent movie that a lot of people didn't like.
Yep. It is known as molten bronze skin. You'll find it in the rare section of your magical items handout.
Ooh. We've got a rare section. This is our first rare item.
Rare. Excuse me, I've got a one-of-a-kind sword. I feel like that should count as rare.
It doesn't impose disadvantage on dex stealth checks. That's nice.
Yep. Also,
And
while you
have
cast
resistance to
Identify,
fire.
you will notice that it seems to be less powerful than it once was. It's like the metal has begun to cool after being interred underground for so long. It's possible it could be re-raised to its previous power.
I mentioned that to you all as I'm going through them.
Yep, and I'll read it
But
out.
I mean, what's
this
the
magical armor?
AC?
It counts as splint armor, so it's 17. The magical armor appears as the jug of molten bronze. When you tune to it, the bronze adheres and contours to your skin. The armor can be worn under normal clothes. Doesn't impede bodily function. It has a butthole. Once you put it on, it can be removed. It can't be removed unless you choose to do so. Well,
It has a butt. Wait, the
controls
armor
I know
has
your
a
weak
skin.
butthole?
It just
I know
it's got
your
a
weak
little.
point. Yep.
That's
It-
creepy.
You'll be like Achilles
Like
of the butt.
it came out of nowhere, but at the same time, I was also in that moment thinking, wait, so if you can't take
Yeah,
So does it like it's like basically just your skin becomes molten?
you get a layer of molten metal. Basically, you attune to
So
it, and then
you have eye
after
holes,
finishing,
a mouth hole, and
yeah,
nose
after
holes
finishing
and-
attuning to it, you pour it over yourself, and you aren't burned by it or anything. It just it forms around your skin.
Ooh, I love it though.
The armor can be worn under normal
Gonna look
clothes.
real weird.
It can't be removed. While wearing the armor, you resist its fire damage. It also doesn't impose disadvantage stealth.
I
Does
just
it
like that
cover
you're
the
like,
head,
it
or
has
is it like, normal armor coverage, like not including?
Yeah, could you just only pour it over your neck and down instead of like pour it on top
I will
of your
say
head?
that the head section can open and close for social scenes because everyone likes that setting
Okay.
in the video game where you can turn
Okay,
the
good.
helmets off despite the fact you're in vacuum.
So I'm not just eternally encased in molten metal for the rest
Yeah.
of the campaign. That's good.
Do you want to
but that
attune
would
to
be
it?
like objectively like dope though.
Yeah, let's go for it. I'll go for one
Can you
less
have
AC,
sexy
but I don't
time
have
while
disadvantage
wearing
on-
it? That's the question.
It doesn't
I mean,
impede
but it's like
bodily
built-in
function, so
protection.
I will
Yeah.
say
The
sure.
chat wants to know.
Yeah, I mean he's like always
There you go,
protected.
chat. You have your answer.
Like,
Here.
That's funny.
will be a bit weird. So okay, Perrin, you spend an hour with this vat of molten metal in front of you, and as it ends, you carefully raise it, both of the hands. It's quite heavy because it's full of molten metal, and as you raise it, you gently begin to
This is gonna be weird.
Chat's
Pour it
like,
over
does
yourself,
it count
and
as
this-
protection?
Yeah.
stream of molten bronze hits the crown of your head and then just flows down you. Like, you have to be naked while doing this, so it's kind of weird. But it then flows down the sides of your head, drips over the front of your forehead, down across your nose and around your mouth, and then down your, like, chest, flowing over each of one of your many very prominent abs with your strength 20. And it begins to then form fit to you. And if you've ever seen those, like, bronze sculptures of, like, ancient classical, like, Rome and Greece, etc., where they've got very obvious pectoral muscles, it's that, because it's flowing exactly over your skin and forming a thin layer of metal. So you are very prominently now, like, just metal
Literally
abs,
a bronze
metal
god.
chest.
Yep.
But notably, as you look
Bronze
and
chest, you're
check,
all right.
you see that there are small gaps where the metal doesn't seem like it was viscous enough. And it has left little openings here and there where it seems to have just flowed around a certain section, or a small bump on your skin has caused it to flow outside of it. It
It's
does look
poking
like
at the
it has
bits that are
cooled a
like,
little
I've just
bit.
got a hole here. I can just, if someone
Yeah.
stabbed me, they could just stab me. This isn't any good.
Yeah. It does look like it has cooled a little bit while underground, and it has lost a little bit of its magical function. It's possible that you may be able to get that back. I will tell you now at which point it would become plate armor as opposed to splint.
Just like nipple holes.
I keep track of all of his weak points. I'm
Okay.
like third rib on the right.
Right, is this, okay.
I mean, Perrin isn't going to do this with other people present. He does this in,
Perrin,
in his room in the
you
inn.
begin to strip off and you feel the warm metal caress your butt. Anyway,
Yeah, so you now have this warm, it's very faintly glowing from the heat it just naturally gives off, which you don't feel. But as everyone like looks at you, you look like some sort of incredibly scary high-level boss from a video game. Like, you have this metal flowed over your skin with small patches where you can see in and actually see the skin, but the rest of it is this kind of glowing bronze armor that is perfectly contoured to your torso and your physique. Maybe just like carefully put a loincloth on for the scene here. But there are these small gaps throughout it, and you can see it perfectly contouring to your face as well. And as you open and close your mouth experimentally and like move your cheeks and flex your eyebrows, you can kind of feel the metal shifting with you.
And I did mention that
Gonna
it could
not
be.
stop being weird anytime soon.
I did mention that it could be like upgraded so that it could get the full. That's probably why
Yeah.
the patches are there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
this
a little
one-
bit too cool to flow properly.
Oh, it's
Better
not.
than it did
it's
in
too
Game
cool.
of Thrones, anyway.
Yeah.
True. Crown of gold.
So there you go. You can add that to your character sheet. It's a handout in the rare section, and yes, it is a rare item.
I'm mentioning
First
that
rare
the lack
item.
of disadvantage on stealth checks is that it's counted by the advantage of being able to pose and pretend to be a statue.
Sure. Totally.
Like those people who stand in the park. Yeah.
Rusty juggler.
It's like put a wire frame in my cape so it like flows out behind me and holds there.
Yeah, there you go.
The next item up is the ring. It is a kinetic storage ring. This ring slowly accumulates charge over time by siphoning a little of the energy you put into movement so that you may unleash it all at once or in small bursts to empower your unarmed attacks. Basically, over time, every long rest it will accumulate a charge, or whenever you crit on a strength or dexterity attack roll. And then whenever you make an unarmed attack, you may spend a charge to do extra damage, or you can spend all the charges at once to do just a lot of damage and knock people back.
Gatton. That's a Gatton ring.
It does not require attunement. No.
Then yay. Will it work in my
that's a Gatton ring.
will it work in my well shaped form?
It will work in wild shape if you make an unarmed attack as opposed to a natural weapon attack. So it has to be particular beast,
And
or
like-
you can just be like, I choose to do a natural, a flat, like I hit them with my paw.
Headbutt.
Yeah. Any sort of unarmed attack as opposed to natural weapons, it will count.
Got it.
I don't know if Gatton can be a gorilla. Like someone was saying an ape or something like that. But
Not currently.
I don't think we've seen one
Yeah.
yet in game.
Yeah,
So.
well, no, it's not even. I mean, at the risk of being meta, it's not in my available forms. Otherwise, I would run around as a chimpanzee with my sword, which is a thing. But
Yeah, you have to be able to wear this when you're the creature for it to count. Otherwise, it absorbs it into your form. So you have to have something that can wear a ring.
yeah, still.
Like a wolf can't necessarily wear it unless it's like a
Bracelet.
wolves.
You know
How
what-
thin do you think wolf wrists are?
I mean, at a dramatically appropriate time, I'll be able to like keep the pimpan strong on somebody. Like, no, I'm with it.
I imagined it like around the wrist of like the creature, but yeah, maybe not.
I think maybe like pierce his ear and like put the ring through it.
Oh, that'd be
I'll
cool.
be a bull. Put it through the nose.
Oh, put
There
it
you
through the
go.
nose. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. Or just like bull tail. The tails are pretty
Tail
thin.
ring, yeah.
Toe ring.
Toe ring, tail ring.
How? I mean, when you're a giant wolf, how big is your
It's very fluffy though, so it's like I feel like the actual tail is not that big.
Oh, we're
It's-
still talking about
it's a
tails.
floof.
Okay, sure.
I
Right.
mean, true.
Anyway.
Oh well, yeah. Then no, you've seen what dogs are packing. It's nothing. No. Anyhow, third item.
Anyway, the box of cigars. Let me bring that up because this is a weird one. Because Traveler,
I'm intrigued by what this is about.
I believe this might be.
Is looking at it here on my sheet though. Like I'm glad this breastplate isn't cursed anymore. But I'll lose 3 AC if I take it off. I might still have to roll with it. I just at least have the option of removing it.
Okay, so the Traveler's Cigar Box. This box contains 5 of the normal 6 cigars because one of them has been used. Each one of them has a different magical effect when smoked. Each one will effectively cast a spell on the person who is using it. Okay, there we go.
So we got like the jerk gods trick cigars. Great, awesome.
I told you. I'm sick. I just throw it in the trash.
All
I'm
of-
just kidding.
All they need to be lit is to tap the end as they self-light. Smoking them imbues the recipient with magical effect. You have no
Do we know
idea
what
of
the
the
effect
rarity
is?
of the item. They seem
We
to
give
have...
them to Mecha Pangolin. He
Not sure if capable of smoking.
He just hot boxes in his.
Oh god.
The traveler cigars.
He hot boxes in Mecha Pietro.
Each of these may be used as a normal consumable, i.e. potion. We're using the bonus to use on yourself or an action to use on someone else. Each cigar has a different effect. If they cast a spell, it is always on the one person smoking them. And if the spell requires concentration, that requirement is waived. However, each time you'll be subject to a concentration check, you must make a charisma saving throw with the same DC or drop the cigar and end the effect. It does not count as concentration for purposes of any ability that references concentration, except for effects that trigger or require a concentration check to be made. The colors of cigar are grey, red, yellow, orange, and green.
Do we know what they do?
You do not.
There's a 0% chance that these are getting used though, because like we're just like doing right now. We're like, oh, it's haste, and we'll do it in the middle of the fight, and it's all like, oh, it's mind blank. Oh, great, awesome.
You
Thanks,
do know
Traveler.
they are general buff spells that last for a minute each.
Probably give those to Perrin. If you want them, Perrin.
Note, however, that they do not require concentration in the typical way, and that you just have to make a check not to drop them when you are.
Which means
It makes
I
more
could
sense for Perrin to have
I could
those.
theoretically do it while I'm raging then, because I can't keep concentration while raging.
You may rage and
Or-
smoke a cigar. Phrases I didn't think I'd say in the show.
You're welcome. It's my gift to you. Angry.
We could split them, like you take half and Perrin take the other half.
I think considering it's a crapshoot, I would always be afraid, honestly. I mean, we just know we have them.
Sell them to Blablin.
True.
We gotta just find. Well, yeah, we could just sell them, or we could try and find someone who can actually tell us what each one does.
You
True.
will know that they won't tell you, despite the fact you're casting Identify, which means it's probably a curse preventing you from finding out.
We should just sell them. I don't
Part
know.
of the very much the traveler's nature of this is a useful, fun item, but I'm definitely not going to give you specifics.
Yeah.
But
Question
from what
is,
you know,
happened to the guy that smoked number 6?
Wow.
You got them off the half elf who was dead under the tree. You will recognize that he was certainly a member of the town until about a month ago, so he probably went in the tower and got the cigars from the tower. You will know that in terms of the power of the item, pretty decent.
I appreciate
Tells them
he's
the
like, no, come on, do it. And we're all like, absolutely not. No.
If you don't want to,
No.
that's fine. But you will know vaguely
We
from
can
the power.
sell them though, right?
It'll be
One
hard
of
to
them
sell them because
could
no
be
one
like,
can identify
"You
how
die."
powerful they are.
Yeah. He's like, come on, you guys, smoke one. And we're all like,
If I was still in that madness state, I probably would have smoked one and also drank a lot of alcohol.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
this
smoke
is-
one now to check. It might be a waste, though.
Exactly. It's only gonna last for a minute. And again, like I fully expect the traveler to like do something jerky. You know, it's like, oh, you cast enlarge, but your ant drops by 5 points. It's just like,
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, well, like
The Traveler
if you
took my
use them-
brother, so I'm kind of mad at the Traveler right now.
If you use them while you're safe, you could waste any good effects you get from them. If you use them while you're not safe, you could die.
right. Yeah. It's a bit of a crapshoot there. Yeah. So, is there anything else we need to do before we set out?
You wanted to go on a walk, didn't you?
Yeah, we wanted to go on a walk, and
Yep.
also there's probably a scene that needs to happen with Mecha Pietro, and that would have probably happened like a long while ago, like like right when.
I must have the first time I realized like he said something, Gadden immediately would be like, you know?
Well, we were in the middle of a fight when that
Yeah.
happened, so yeah.
I
Probably
never heard him.
Right.
He made a point that he was talking when you guys were. I was somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this my Mecha Pietro voice? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's okay.
So, I assume this is the same night. We're going back like a night or so, but this is the same night that you've just had the funeral. You had a lovely talk with this nice cleric you only just met. And your little pangolin friend is in your pocket, curled up, watching the embers.
Yeah, and Perrin and Gatton, you can be there too, if you want to be.
Yeah, right.
Did I just hear Pietro speaking normally, common?
Yeah, I was meaning to ask you that. Have you always been able to speak and just now doing it?
Words are new to me. This is weird. I
Irina,
also
like,
understand you
thinks-
perfectly. I mean, I could always understand you a certain amount. That was nice. And I really appreciate that.
Marina thinks back to what happened and when that moment when Mecha Pietro said something to her in the middle of battle. And then she kind of looks to the others and to Pietro. I mean, she's pretty smart, so they have a 19 int. She's just like,
Perhaps something happened with when the tears were in there.
There was definitely some weird occurrences happening around those. They were breaks in reality. It makes sense. Just interesting effect to have. Suppose it's not a bad thing.
Marina smiles and puts her hand on Pietro and kind of pets him. And she's like,
Well, it appears that the Raven Queen has given you a gift, so you will have to make sure you use it wisely.
Oh, now I know that there are gods that exist. Do I have to pick one, or can I just worship all of them?
Well, they don't seem to like that when you do that, but some
Most
don't
people in
mind.
this.
Most people in this setting are polytheistic anyway. Most
Yeah,
most
I'm like
D&D
some
settings
people
they
don't
are.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people will be snobby. You know.
Which god's the best? Which one should I pick?
Well, I think that it is probably the Raven Queen who has graced you with these gifts. But there are many gods.
What's the Raven Queen all about?
And Arena will like explain to him what the Raven Queen.
I can die. What happens when I die? Do you have a soul?
Ooh, does he have
Pull
a
out the
soul?
reaping blade. I'm like, one way to find out, Pietro.
Scan. Don't scare the kid. I guess he's a kid. This is weird.
And one thing
Parents
you were very aware of, Pietro, was the fact that you could die. Now, you might actually get to live.
They said that the Pietro voice is a little quiet.
And they're all out to get me because of what we did in the towers.
I don't think anyone is out to get you, Pietro.
You remember that? Keep that pretty quiet when outside of this particular company.
And we went up in the tower.
Shh, I put my hand over his little muzzle. Well, I don't like hold him down, but I'm just like, shh.
He's like, okay, get the pillow.
No, I just like hush him,
sure.
and I'm like, and I whisper, and I'm like,
We don't talk about the key. Not
Do we talk about when you rewound time and it was weird?
No, we don't talk about that either.
Okay, I remember that.
Wait, you remember that?
Of course I do remember that.
I don't remember that because it got rewound and it never happened to me.
You hiding?
Yes. Also, I'm lacking those memories as well.
You were also hiding.
Perhaps it
You were
is just
hiding?
best for me and you to
went around
keep
the
them to
corner.
ourselves, Pietro.
That doesn't sound like us.
Well, you were really obsessed with writing down all the weird symbols and you were covered in them.
Oh, if Arena was in that room and was hell-bent on performing a ritual, I probably would have gone round the corner and hidden.
Ah, true, especially if we thought death might have been imminent. Speaking of,
Apparently, if the parent that never was had stayed in the room with Arena, he would remember the whole thing.
or been wiped out of existence. That
That's why they're out
artificer.
to get us.
They're not out to
They're out
get
to get us.
us.
I tell you, they're out to get us.
Well, you
And
saw
there are
all
some
those
people out
ravens.
to get us.
Yes, definitely, he's not wrong.
They're out to get us. Don't be afraid.
I mean, we've been attacked literally everywhere, oftentimes in our beds. So I believe
Yeah, you're
Pietro
just
comes about this
improbable.
honestly.
I look at Kat and I'm like,
You don't want to scare him.
I want him to be aware of the significant danger he's perpetually in. Yes.
The ball begins to
pet
just
Pietro.
shake back and forth.
I like kind of pet him, and I'm like,
It is going to be okay.
Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's
Over a long enough timeline, things will be quite not okay. But yes, for now, momentarily.
Penguins don't have a very long lifespan.
And it could get much shorter if you aren't vigilant. Yes.
Oh no. Okay.
And
Pietro begins to pray to every god in order.
I imagine that scene from The Mummy where the dude had all the holy symbols and he just kept rotating through them.
Basically,
the
yeah.
mummy reacted to it.
Arena just kind of sits him down and is like, kind of like puts him off on his own and says,
Well, I guess we never were able to really ask you. When I asked you before, you kind of just stuck to us. So I thought maybe you wanted to keep being with us, but it is up to you if you want to continue with us. Like Katten says, we are on a dangerous path. And you said yourself that your lifespan is not as long. Perhaps you don't want to spend it with
It's
us.
longer than an Aarakocra.
Arena puts her head down, kind of a little in shame when he says that.
I didn't mean it like that. Sorry.
No, it is
Surprised
okay.
you know the word.
I am just...
What? Of course I know the word. I can speak 2 languages now.
You've only been sentient. Wait, 2 languages?
What other language?
And she says that in Gnomish to him.
What? I didn't get that.
Oh, I thought that would be the other language that you know. But
Oh,
what other language do you know?
Arena looks at him like, cocks her head.
ist das die Kalamanik? Nagadakatha?
I look at the other two like, what the hell did
Is
you just
that
say?
the language of the woodland creatures, Sylvan?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
How did you learn
Fascinating.
Sylvan? Are you from a different forest, maybe?
I mean, I'm not native to around here, I think. But other than that, I don't know.
None of us are truly native to here.
That's true.
Mum
That-
is.
Artificer that you were supposed to meet with, are they also in Near Earth or were they elsewhere?
They're in
They're in
Nerd Earth.
Earth, yes.
Hmm,
How do
another
you
point
know?
of business.
I still have a memory.
How do you... Are your memories wrapped in language or simply images?
I don't know the nature of memory. I'm only in 10.
That is average. You have as much insight as anyone.
This is definitely strange, that is for sure.
As a complete aside, if you've ever read Helen Keller talking about when she existed before language, it is fascinating because she was conscious but had no language. She had no way to express herself. So then when she learned things and then had to go rewrap memories in language, fascinating read. Oh, OC, I'm imagining that in a little pangolin brain.
Yeah.
Also, I am like 12 years old. In if I was a human, but I'm obviously I'm a pangolin, so I'm like 2 years old.
Well, you have fought very bravely, Pietro.
Hey,
Arena nods.
I like having control of the Big Mac. That's fun.
You can
True.
continue to have control over it if you want. It is yours.
Its metal skin protects me from the big bads who want to kill me.
Arena's like, kind of agrees and nods.
I did build it for you because you didn't want to leave us after I healed you. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure you stayed safe.
Do I have to go to school now?
I don't think pangolins go to school.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Arena
think-
kind of looks at the other two like,
Very much a school of life type operation.
What happens if I go in a tower?
Oh.
Well, you've been through 5.
I didn't really think about that though.
That was before becoming fully conscious, so I guess
wasn't
it
sentient
didn't
at the time.
count.
Satan,
So-
anyway.
Is sentience
we-
the parameter of measurement?
I guess that the tower would be more difficult for us because it would think that you are on your own.
Although if you
That
do
is
not
thinking.
increase your power, you will surely be destroyed, so...
I look again and again. And then I like pet him.
a little bit.
I pet him again. I pet him again and I'm like,
It will be okay. We would not let you go into danger.
I would not have the first words that he understands spoken plainly be lies.
Maybe I should make a decision when we get to a city. Maybe there's gonna be, pangolin reserves or like pangolin colleges or maybe.
You may
pangolin
not
play
find
fauna.
much. I don't think there are any other conscious pangolins.
If we're being honest with ourselves, we weren't aware of the one, so...
Well, maybe we can ask people. I don't know.
There, there may be schools that would take you if you want an education.
Oh, fun.
Arena, that
Depends who you
reminds
ask.
me. We have invited Cirrus to accompany us on our journey, inasmuch as we are traveling in the same direction.
I like them, so that will be nice to have more company along our journey. If that is what they want to do. And Pietro, we will find you a school if that is what you want to do. But that is up to you.
I don't know. He's always been really nice to me.
Well,
Always been really nice. So, I don't know.
well, you are welcome to continue staying on our journey with us, but
Yay!
we have a long trek and many, many travels that we must do across land and water and maybe even air.
I don't know if I can swim.
You
can't
are
fly.
covered in iron plates. Almost certainly not.
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
If you are in Mecha Pangolin, then you should be fine. It can basically go underwater and have no problem.
Oh, yay!
Pangolins can swim. I did a Google.
I'm like, what is a Google? Is that like a commune with a knowledge god of some
None
sort?
of that was in character. I don't know if we know if.
So presumably this conversation is happening while we're on our walk.
No, this is the night before because it needs
Oh,
to go
right.
back in
This
time.
would have, yeah. Right. Okay, got it.
But having
Because it is something we would have been like, what? You're right. That's not something.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
you hadn't
We
had to deal
explained
with the
many,
idea of
many
sentient
things to
paladins.
Pietro, but I feel like we're gonna have to explain a lot of things along the journey.
I mean, you have effectively like now a 12-year-old child-brained tiny creature. So like at some point it's gonna be like,
Mummy, Daddy, how are more pangolins made?
Oh no!
and then you're gonna have a really
Magic.
awkward RP section.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway, now you want to fast forward time a
Parents
little bit?
now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can fast forward.
And honestly, we could head towards near to Earth even. I just
Okay, in which case, you finished most of
I
your
was-
duties.
I was waiting for them to go off on their walk for me to do a thing.
They go off on their
well
walk.
then yeah, sure.
Do your thing.
Yeah, because from an exposition standpoint, anything I have to say, I can say while we're on the way to near to Earth. So I'm fine with being like,
Yeah.
yes, Arena, and I sort of kind of take, one
Yeah,
last
I
walk
like.
around
I
the.
like that the RP of like Arena and Gatton walking around is kind of like they have been there for like 8 years together. Well, Arena's been there longer, but Gatton has been like alive since he got his soul for 8 years, and so just kind of like talking to the little creatures that come by that we used to feed, and like I just imagine it being like a really like almost like calming sense,
Maybe
even though it's sad. You know?
maybe we spread some of Urzu's ashes in the woods because he
Yeah.
loved the woods.
I love that.
Yeah.
And maybe Arena takes some pieces for her spells.
Oh, okay,
and stuff
pieces
like
of
that.
the woods, not pieces of Urzu.
No, real talk. I thought it was just like
No, no, like
necromancy. I was like,
no,
yeah,
from
okay.
the
metal,
environment.
yeah, right.
From the
I
environment.
go on his body and I just chop the fingers off, just pair
Honestly,
pliers.
I
No.
literally was there with you, E.
Yeah.
She's like, I am
I'm a
grandpa.
forest gnome.
You were
right?
like, we
Yeah.
spread Urzu around the woods, and I take some pieces as well.
No,
True.
pieces of the. I didn't finish my sentence. So pieces of the environment, like the forest and stuff, for my opponents.
Okay. You see them head off to go on their little walk around, a little urn. You're now covered in metal and glowing slightly.
Yeah, I guess Perrin kind of like tests out his ability to like remove the head covering and that kind of thing, and like it's like, can I take it off my hand so I can hold things right?
Oh no, you
And
can
that
hold
kind of
things.
thing.
It runs around your like fingers and stuff. It's much thinner on the fingers. It's like maybe like 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters. Whereas it's
This is
more
very
like
weird, and I'm not sure.
5
I'm,
millimeters
like,
kind of on your chest.
I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that everything I touch is now through a thin layer of metal.
There are certainly like, because it's the end of your extremities, the imperfect nature of it, there are more gaps around your hands.
No, it's like fingerless gloves.
Almost, yeah, kind of.
I'll crackle some lightning and then touch you. No, just kidding.
Oh god.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
what
definitely
happens if
metal
someone
armor.
uses heat metal on me? Oh
Yeah, it's
no.
not good
It
for
would be
you.
bad.
Well, we're gonna
except
find out.
You have resistance, so.
Oh yeah, I have fire resistance. There we go. Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah,
um,
I'm
like,
not talking
so-
about fire. I'm talking about lightning. Lightning
Yeah.
does extra damage to you.
but like if you
yeah,
if you
okay.
like just pull the head piece a bit, it starts to run down to your neck, and then like slowly it will run back
There,
up.
it's like, oh god, it's like venom. It's like I'm just like no.
Yeah, basically yes.
He can do
I gotta
whatever
go-
he
I gotta go.
wants.
I gotta go find a bell tower and like hit it a bunch. Anyway, yeah. Perrin spends some time like sat in his room in the inn in thought, and he pulls out the empty health potion bottle and like flips it in his hand a bit, and then does a bit of pacing. And I feel like in the TV version of this, he paces, and then like as he turns, flash of like being stabbed by a tree. Paces across the room, turns, flash of being strangled by a tree, and just like cutting back to him nearly dying a whole bunch in a cave.
Yeah. And each time we see
And then
him
drinking.
pacing and doing that like pace, the room ever so slightly does vibrate a little bit as he paces. Because not only is Perrin like pretty heavy set to begin with, he is now wearing a full suit of metal armor effectively. So there's a pretty hefty like weight to his movements.
I think in putting his gear back on, his Erithus pendant is currently actually on display. He put that on after, so it's like over the top of his cloak. And after a couple flashes of this and the part where he drank a potion and it did bugger all, he turns and stomps out of the room, out of the inn, down the street to Blablin shop.
Okay, who the hell are you? What the hell
I
is
throw
that?
the bottle at him as I walk through the door, intending to just miss his head.
He reflexively casts shield, and you see the image, like the area of magical force, power out from his hand, and the bottle smashes against the corner and splashes off in a mist of fragments towards one side of the room. What?
You,
What do you want?
slimy, cunning son of a... This wasn't a proper potion!
Aaron?
You sold me a dud potion!
Make an intimidate roll.
I missed the button. 20. Not natural, but a 20.
Nice. Yes.
Well, some of them are a little bit experimental. I've been, working on improving.
Experimental, watered down is what they were.
Experimental, how much I can water them down before they become less potent.
I don't even know what to call you. I nearly died
Blablin.
because that thing was useless.
But you didn't. And you've got, and you...
It was no help from you. I bought that from you in good faith. I thought you were being generous by offering at half price. You didn't tell me you were selling me half a potion.
You got a 1-for-1 deal then.
Don't.
Goes around the back of the desk, pulls out another potion. The other one? In good faith. It's a show of apology. There you go.
I swipe it out of his hand.
Can I interest you in some more potions? We just got
Absolutely not. You cannot interest me in anything you have to offer in this shop. I trust nothing that you sell. That's how this works.
Imported.
You swindle people.
Oh.
They don't pay for things anymore.
Okay. Fixing overlay stuff. Just give me a sec. That's not fixing it. That's making it worse. There we go. Done. Yes. But, what if... Important potions. So I haven't touched them. I've only just got here, because unfortunately you killed the tree, so I can't sell them to the Raven Queen folks at a markup now, so I better just shift them on normal price. But they're imported. I can sell them to you for normal price.
One, absolutely not. Two, consider yourself very lucky that I have business down south.
Right.
Because if I have anything to say about it, you have absolutely no right to have any kind of position in this village. Apart from the shopkeep that nobody trusts. So why don't you keep your head down? Don't swindle people. And when I come back, maybe I might have demonstrated that you have some ability to run a town fairly.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your customer feedback. We'll be making a note going forwards, and we'll redo our quality control and safety checks, and won't happen again.
It had better not. But if that should be another date.
Your current.
Right, I think we have an understanding.
Did you get any bits of the tree?
No. And stay away from the ruins.
Well, they collapsed the other day, so we're like you can get particularly in.
Well, fair enough then. You can't find random stuff in there and then sell it for stupid prices.
That was what you did.
I sold for reasonable. Don't start this with me.
Oh, fine, mister. I'm metal gonads now. Okay, fine.
You're
yes.
pushing it.
You've got balls of steel, I'll give you that.
Like I said, if I find this town is any worse off, next time I'm in these lands, I'm gonna make personally sure that you're no longer
What do you mean,
having any say
worse
in it.
off? We've got no grain. Everyone who was working on the harvest has left.
I know that I could have been here to help.
And you wandered away.
And gained the necessary strength to come back and deal with the tree, which important thing needed to be done.
And what about strength
Regardless
to
of
deal
what
with
you
the
think-
harvest everyone needs?
Regardless about what you think about good business and selling to Raven Queen supporters.
I'll have you know I'm trying to raise money to hire a druid from the Heroes to come down and bless all the fields to get the crops to grow quickly.
Well, do it with good business. Don't jeopardize someone's attempt to save the town.
I didn't know it'd water down that much. Oh. Didn't mean to.
So what happens if you split a potion in two? It becomes two half-effective potions, you
Actually,
idiot.
normally one of them doesn't get an effect at all, so it was actually quite a success.
I can't believe you. Someone needs to look after this place, so I hope you do that. Till next we meet, which, if you're lucky, will take a very long time. And I turn and storm out.
Out you storm. Everyone in town looks at you as you are moving around now. They did look at you quite a lot before. Now everyone sees you. The eyes just track. You are some, like, sculpted bronze colossi out of legend with every
Did
ripple
anyone-
of
You should do
muscle
like a
visible.
speech to those people to tell them not to follow, not to vote for Blablin.
Yeah, was anyone witness to the altercation?
No one was in Blabber's shop. Sorry, not many people in this town have the money.
I mean, I head back to the inn. When I do, I probably visit, is it Mahira? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahira.
Yep. And just like head up to the bar, grab some drink or something, and while Mahira's there, I'm like, hey, just thought I'd make you aware, because it's important. Blablin sold me a potion the other day. It was watered down. Barely any use. Nearly got me killed. So,
That's gone, is it?
be wary.
Ah,
Yeah, be wary and, maybe spread the word.
Also,
and if you're
I've
ever
got to
feeling
ask Perrin.
like, is it about the armor?
It's armor.
Yeah, it's weird. It's gonna take some getting used to.
I'm not gonna say it doesn't look. It looks pretty good.
It's got that going for it. Still, and being encased in metal, odd. I like wrap my hand on the table. It goes like dunk.
Do you mind if I
Slightly. Go on, sure.
She puts her hand like up on like just below your pec, like on the side of your abs, and is like, it's kind of weird. It's when you move, but it just pokes it, and it's just solid for her poking. But when you move, it flexes perfectly with you. Like there's no resistance for you. That is really, really weird. Oh, there was one of the Raven Queen people. She came past, said to get you when you were about to leave town.
Oh, what is it?
She said when you were going to leave to direct you to her. Name of Cirrus?
Vanya? Oh. Right, yeah, we met. It's a message or?
Yeah, she said to go get her before you left. I don't know why she's gone Scottish.
Oh,
I'm
right.
sorry.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Of course, that was already the plan.
Oh, okay, then you're fine. Her hand's still on the side of your chest. Like she just forgot to remove it.
I'm shipping.
Oh, sorry about that. It does that sometimes.
Anyway, I don't much like Blablin. You might have noticed. And I don't much trust his ability to run things around here. If you're ever of the mind that you might be interested, I definitely support you being in charge of the town.
Maybe. I'm not really the leading type.
Often not really the leading type is exactly the type that you want to be leading.
You got a point there. But I was thinking of maybe packing up and going to one of the cities. Place isn't bringing any money in anymore.
I can't exactly complain. I've not been very present recently myself. Some important things I have to do relating to family. Otherwise, I might stay here and try and fix things up a bit.
She looks you up and down quizzically and is like, okay. Good looking and mysterious. Fine.
And a family man. It just keeps adding to the list, you know?
You probably should talk to Gatton about his list. I think you need to.
Yeah, I'll relay that. I mean, everyone's got their own lists. Well, I'm heading in the near-death direction, so if that happens to be where you decide to settle down, you may find me there.
I'll bear that in mind.
All right, to finding new homes. Hold up the drink.
She just takes the mug from under the bar that she was about to put back before you walked in and just kind of clinks to you. Okay. Want to cut forwards to leaving the town and meeting up with Cirrus?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You know, 3 hours later. 3 hours later.
I do visit the Cogdeers in case there's anything. If I can buy, I don't know if they sell javelins or if they sell health potions, but they are now exclusively where I put my patronage in the town.
Sorry, they don't really make weapons or health potions, which requires. Yeah.
Then
sorry,
I
they're more
will make
tinkerers
do
as
because
opposed
I would
to
prefer.
herbalers.
I prefer to go without than to buy from Blablin at this point.
Yeah, my family has to like redo their shop.
I
Too.
don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even trust his javelins, and it's hard to water down a javelin.
Just go to throw it, and it just splits in two perfectly midair, lands either side of the target.
But actually, he'll have hollowed out the javelins and used the sawdust in any bread that he sells.
And I think we had talked about it, but like obviously this could be off camera. It doesn't have to be on camera. Like my family going with like the Raven Queen people under like a protection.
Yeah, your family, they're stubborn, so they're reluctant to move, but they are going to consider it. If you would like to make a charisma check to convince them to move, you could.
Can Perrin be there to do
It would
the
probably have to come
convincing?
from you because you are the daughter.
I'm not very charismatic.
It'll be a persuasion check.
I'm awkward. Persuasion check?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. RNG, it's up to you. 14. Ooh, I can add my inspiration, right? It's a 1d6.
You can, 1d6, yeah.
Nineteen.
Okay. They're gonna look for opportunities to move at the earliest convenience. Admittedly, that means they will probably need to sell the shop and find a place to move to where they can set up shop. So they'll need to find somewhere, but they're going to do it soon, i.e., within the next month. And
Good,
the
'cause I
Raven
don't
Queen
want
will leave a couple of
EE
people
to
around.
murder the rest of my family.
Yeah, that's fair. And they'll leave a couple of people of the Raven Queen around to look after them. Luckily, they have most of their family in the family house because they're, pretty tight-knit. They don't have a lot of family outside of it, so yeah, they can move. They will entertain openings.
Yay.
Okay, so you meet up at the edge of town. Sirius is waiting for you. What do you want to say?
I think Arena is just like,
I heard that you're going to join us.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, it'll be a safe journey and we won't come across anything too sinister.
I did make the journey once when I'd never been in a tower, so it can go smoothly.
Then maybe that will happen. Maybe that will be. I've been around here for a long time, so it'll be good to stretch my legs for a bit.
Arena pops up on Gatton's shoulder and gets comfy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, with that, start your track. Are you going south, I assume, to Neardearth via foot?
Yep.
Okay.
We do have some money now, but yeah, I think the plan was to go on foot. Because we want to save that money for some other stuff that we're going to need.
I imagine we probably couldn't spend the money in the town anyway. I think even Blamblin won't have enough in his coffers to actually buy any of the stuff we have.
To get the train, you could take a train down or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you need to go back to the ORS to get the train, but yeah.
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 Pew's sheet seems to have disappeared.
It should be in items, the top of items. I've moved it into items now. It actually should be in rare, so I'll just do that now.
Oh, I see him now. Oh, it was funny. I found him right when he moved.
Sorry, yeah, he's in rare items now.
Yeah, sorry.
So you have, just to reiterate, 2,400 art objects, which I assume will all have to go in the bag of holding, and then in some suitcases or something. 762 gold pieces, which if you want to divide it between 3 of you, or you want to put in the group bag, you can do.
How many gold pieces?
762. It works out as 254 each, if you want to
Yeah, I
divide it
think
through ways.
Gatton was keeping track of all our...
I thought it was moving to Perrin.
Oh,
I was. Yeah, I can just record the whole thing.
Okay.
So 700 and what?
762.
You're both strong. You
762.
both can carry stuff, so I'm down with either of you two carrying it and not me. I can't carry all that stuff.
I'll do a strong.
Did you want to get horse and cart, pony and cart, mule and cart, carrying stuff? Anything
How
like
far is near to Earth?
a fair way?
It's a long, big old distance.
I mean, days, weeks, months. We Oregon trailing this.
Months.
Hey, let's get a cart.
Well, super far south. Yeah, right. Exactly. We should get a cart and
it
some
will
beast of
take
burdens that we'll get
you-
overly attached to before they're killed by predators in a mountain pass.
It will take you about a month and a half if you go down like some of the straighter roads and are lucky with weather. Otherwise, it'll take about 2 months.
2 months to walk there?
Yep.
Whew. We could
maybe
get a
2.5,
carriage or
3.
something. We could rent a
Finally-
carriage.
We'll finally time skip maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess we could.
We'll have built up a number of kinetic
Is-
charges over this trip. They're like,
Is there anything along the way, like the journey, that we would see that would be
It's
interesting?
it's the friends we make along the way.
It's the edge of Lake Upper, which is one of the huge inland, almost basically an inland sea almost by its size. More akin to like the Great Lakes between the US and Canada. There's also the entire of the river that runs down next to you, which you
Ooh.
are very familiar with, which will be about a third of the distance you go. That'll be on your right as you go. There's the border with the Lemurian Empire, so if you wanted to, you could pop over the border, visit the Lemurian Empire for a little bit.
That's where I have that letter for her. What's
That's
her
all
name?
the way over to Sun Throne, which is a long way.
Oh, okay, that's a different Erica.
There's obviously a load of like smaller towns, etc. on the way. There's nothing so big as Near Earth or the tower that you're going to.
Along our travels, do we see anyone that looks like the picture that Vanya had in her locket?
I bear in mind I'll be
Masha.
assuming you're looking out for that person.
Masha, yeah.
In general, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, and just to do, A-teamishness as we're wandering across the countryside, does anyone look like they need assistance? Also, I'm like seriously grappling with what my 3 attuned items are going to be. Like, why is life so difficult? Like, I have to keep the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, I have to keep Hugh, although, I guess ultimately he might be of questionable value. I think so. Which comes down to the armor, which is essentially worth 3 AC, or the telepathic crystal, which lets me talk to you guys while I'm wild shaped and helps me see. I don't have dark vision. Although, theoretically, if I'm wild shaped, I've got dark vision, but the crystal works all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's up to you, man.
Yeah.
Gotta decide what's most valuable for you. Must be hard having so many magic items.
I know, but why is life so difficult? I got too much dumb stuff, man.
I'm over here with, I got a tool.
Yeah, rough life.
And you can attune to the most things. That's the funny part.
No, I can only attune to 3 things like you.
Yeah.
But
In a
at
few
max,
levels.
at higher levels, I get 5 slots.
I think you can get up to
2
6. It goes up to 4 and then up to 5, then up to 6, I think.
But some of those are taken by like the things that I have to tune and create and stuff. So,
No, none of those are attunement. It's only if you choose to make a magical item with one of your invocations.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're called.
The
It's still
infusions.
6
I think they're
things,
called
yeah.
infusions. Yeah.
We can totally buy a carriage if we want, and then we
Yeah,
can
that's
just
what I was
have that
thinking.
ticket. Yeah, ticket
Yeah.
to
Bring
Near
a carriage.
Earth, leave it outside, take it to the next
Can-
place we go.
Can I just ask you one thing, EE? Is the bag of holding or some other form of storage enough that I could still keep the breastplate? I don't have it on, but just like have it should I decide later.
Oh,
Or is
yeah,
it
yeah,
like
yeah.
so-
The breastplate
it's
is
not-
very light compared to, say, the 2,400 gold pieces of art objects you have.
Right, exactly. Those are in the good crates. Yeah. Then currently I will be attuned to the crystal, but I still possess the breastplate. Should I
Sure.
change my mind? Okay.
Could Mecha Pietro pull a carriage? So if we bought the carriage, could he pull it? Because he's like,
He could help, but he won't be able to do much. Like, he's not large enough, and he's also not got as much movement as a horse or something.
Yeah, we can get a horse.
So we need a mule or something too. So let's buy. I guess we'll buy a carriage and a mule.
Yeah, and again, like the way this works is that
We
for
could leave
long
those at a
distance
stable or
cross-border-
something, right?
Yeah, for long distance cross border stuff as well. You can effectively buy the carriage and then you sell it at the other end immediately, and you'll get
Oh yeah.
a chunk of the money back. So it's effectively like you are renting it, but you pay the deposit for the full amount because they aren't at the other end to get it back. It's just you'll go to another provider.
Okay. Yeah. I guess let's buy a mule. I think they're like 50 gold, right, or something, and then
if
buy
you want
a carriage.
to pull like a full-on carriage, you'll probably need like a pony minimum or something. Or you could use a mule if you wanted, but they won't be quite as big to be able to do that.
I think that's like 100 gold, or something. 75 or 100.
Pony's 30,
Yeah,
riding horse is
it's not too
75, draft
75,
horse, which
yeah.
is what you probably want, is a 50.
Yeah.
50's not bad.
I'd say go for a draft horse.
Yeah. So
Even
you want to
a
get
saddle on if we like.
I spend most of the trip talking to the horse. Like I'm like walking next to it down the road, just chatting with the horse.
You shapeshift into a horse.
Just speak with animals, yeah. Yeah. On
Nice.
occasion,
Yeah.
sure, probably. Yeah, like, yeah, why not? Yeah. Stretch out the old
Cyrus
hooves.
is
Help
just
pull the
very
carriage.
confused by this menagerie of people who are like, oh, we've got all this money. What should we do with it? Yeah. Also, do you want to get a cart as well? Because you can put a load of your shit on the cart if you wanted.
I'm saying get a carriage, go fancy.
Okay, carriage. You
can
can
get
put the
it
stuff
covered,
on the
you can
top.
sleep in
and-
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
As long as we don't put it before the course.
Carriage is a bit more expensive, but you've got the money, so it's 100 gold for a carriage.
It is 100 gold for
Thank
a
you for
carriage.
coming
But I'm
around
like,
me on
I
that,
got
Katie.
700 here. Let's splash out. Let's get
And
something
if you
fancy.
want,
It's not going to go away when we get
you'll
to
probably
near
need 2 draft horses minimum. So if you want to spend 100, you'll have 2
Oh.
draft horses. So it'll be
The
200
nicer a
minimum.
thing we get, the more likely it's to get wrecked along this trip, by the way.
there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true.
We might attract some attention.
No, I don't mean just from brigands. I mean, EE's awful and we'll get caught in a mudslide.
I am
He already
terrible.
mentioned the weather. So
It's like you
If
have to
we're-
cross a giant river. You
I
lose
know.
the cart and horses.
we're going to have spinning rims and ground effects on our cart. And it's like bridges out sucks, you know?
Yep.
So
We could just do if we just do a cart and a horse, then that's super cheap.
Yeah, I think just a cart and a horse.
Okay.
Or I don't mind getting a carriage though.
Well, I
we
mean,
can
let me ask 2 questions, and they're both slightly meta. I apologize. One, is a cart with 2 horses going to rapidly increase our travel speed?
Yeah, effectively, it'll mean all of you could effectively be on the cart.
Mhm.
A carriage would be a little bit faster as well because you wouldn't then need to bivouac as much. Like you'd be able to rest in
Sleep.
the carriage a little bit.
2,
Sleep
is
a little
there
bit,
an in narrative logistical reason why it makes any difference how fast we get there? Like, I mean, we don't have a ticking clock or a specific task. I mean, that's why
I will point out that like the world
Kinda
will
do.
still kind of continue. Certain things might happen, but in
Yeah,
general,
we're
there's no
There's a
emergency.
chance that like we could have the awkward moment where like Perrin arrives and walks through the gate and his dad runs by holding a sword going the revolution and then gets stabbed and I'm like, oh, it was too late.
I vote for the mid-range option because it's getting into the towers is going to be very expensive. So we probably got to hold on to some gold for that. So whatever the middle one was, the cart with a single horse instead of the carriage with 2, I think.
Probably more like a wagon if
car-
you want people to be on it.
Well, the mid one.
35 for
So we
wagon.
really, yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure I can't die of dysentery, so I like where this is headed.
Okay,
So a wagon and
a draft horse. 85
I'll
gold
mark
pieces.
it all off.
And both of those are available on Owner without having to wait, so you can get a draft horse, one of the few remaining draft horses, and a wagon.
All right, 85 spent on a wagon and a draft horse.
Bear in mind, you will have to pay lifestyle expenses, like just for the food and upkeep and the occasional lodging, etc. Less because you've got food per day from your druid, but you'll still have to pay.
yeah, we'll have to do
certain amount.
stable and
Yeah.
stuff like that when we stay places.
I get the horse the good stuff. You know, I bring some premium wild carrots out of there.
I
you
like
know?
to imagine we camp out near the lake when we pass the lake, and maybe along the river when we're on the river. We have pretty views.
So, with all this done, 85 gold spent on your very own draft horse and a wagon.
Well, I need to say one more thing. Sorry, we don't trust Bleblin, but we should probably buy more health potions because we use them all.
No. Perrin says no.
Is Bleblin the only proprietor? I thought
Yes.
the Cogdeers made health potions too.
No, we are tinkers. We make tinkery things.
They had
and-
one
well,
emergency health potion in case anyone injured themselves horrifically in the workshop, and they gave that.
If you need a vacuum cleaner,
Arena.
we got you.
Well, we have a cleric and 1 health potion that hopefully works. So, okay.
All of you have healing of some kind, so
Yep.
Oh yeah, I
okay.
do have the half power healing potion.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did take that from Blablin. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
he offered that for free, so I'm like, yes, that I'm owed that potion. Thank you, sir.
So with all of that done, you have yourself a wagon and a draft horse, and you've got a few crates of the goods that you have up on the back of it, and you can easily have 1 or 2 people up on the cart at the same time, trudging along down towards Neardeath. You have yourself Cirrus, who is kindly offering to go with you to get you far enough out of the dead cities that you are probably going to be okay, considering that you have drawn attention to yourselves in quite a number of ways.
I think Arena will ask her lots of questions along the way.
If you want, then, do you want to RP those?
I don't know if you want to.
That's not a question for me as a GM. I don't want you to RP.
I'm just
do you
saying,
want to
like,
RP?
I'm
Okay.
saying that would be like, definitely there would be
Sure.
a thing where like Arena's just like probably annoying you with questions like, what are you reading? Like, like pretty much like all
she'd
the things.
love it, like answering all your questions, and you find a lot that she's just watching all of you, seeing what you're doing. But if you're asking questions about like her prayer book and everything, she's probably taking that as an opportunity to witness to you about the Raven Queen.
Great. And I'm like the like perfect person for you to be doing that, because I just keep asking more questions and I seem very interested because I also worship the Raven Queen.
Yeah. So I think that it's honestly probably something she's loving that you're doing.
It's like, finally, I've gone door to door to everyone's house and no one listens to me.
But you do.
Perfect.
So, about 5 days into your journey, what quality of travel would you like? Would you like squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, or aristocratic travel, which you can't really get anything above modest, really?
Yeah, I'd like to say modest, but looking at the costs, I think I'll go for poor.
Poor?
Yeah, poor's fine.
I mean, I'd like
that's
to sleep under the
silver a
stars.
day instead of 1 gold a day.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
No, you've got
Considering
most
that's,
of
like-
your camping equipment and stuff with you, and
Yeah, it
you've
was
got
like
food, so
most of the time we'll probably just camp out. Yeah.
it'll just be, I'll call that half that. So this is, the price of repairing clothing, the occasional bag of food for the horse, etc. So it'll be 1 silver a day each.
I can repair your clothing.
To an
I've got
extent.
mending.
So that's the cleric
5 days,
is
4 people, 20
charging
silver, 2
their
gold.
money to the account of the Raven Queen, I assume. So we'll only count for the 3 of you out of your own pockets. 5 days.
Okay.
1 silver each. So 15 silver.
Alright.
1.5 gold.
I happen to have exactly 15 silver. I can literally just remove that. Nice.
Heron pays for the party.
Well, who's keeping track of our other gold?
Heron.
Perrin? Okay.
But
Then
I'm
you should have
tracking
more
the
than 15.
700 gold we got.
Okay. I was like, then you should have more than 15 silver.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but everything else is in gold.
Okay, gotcha.
So 5 days into this, there is a night where it is a cloudless sky. You can perfectly see all the constellations, whether it's the Raven of the Raven Queen, or the balanced scales of Erethis, or even the rolling tidal wave of stars that appears to just be kind of a mess that represents Umberlee's crashing wave. You're all asleep, except for Gatton, who is always on sentry mode.
And Mecha Pietro, technically.
Like a Pietro, which is on low power mode, I guess. Power saver mode. The last remains of your fire are smouldering over the remains of whatever lovely bush animal that Gatton has carefully managed to take apart for you. It's been a relatively relaxed journey so far. You've had time to think, to process. And while you all rest, Gatton, there's a slight flicker of movement which is there and then gone.
get up and I shake Perrin's boot. I don't wake the others just yet because I know the spellcasters need their sleep unless something's really an emergency. But he does sort of get the like my boot on his boot.
That
Like-
was spellcaster. Yeah, what?
And
Perrin,
I
what's
say,
your passive perception?
It's 10.
Cool. Gatton.
Super perceptive. It's
Oh,
great.
no.
I catch all the things.
You notice right in between you and Perrin, there is a
Mhm.
like a little blur of color, and it disappears. Perrin, you see nothing.
What's happening again?
I
Go for my sword.
telepathically, I tell him what I saw, but I don't say it out loud. And I do like pull out the sword.
Becca
I
Pietro's
respond
passive
in his-
perception
in
is
his head.
16.
Mieka Pietro, other side of the tent. We'll get to that in a second. This is effectively like
Okay.
two sides of the tent.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
As you do that, cutting to the other side of the tent,
I need to know if I can wake someone up with telepathy. Like, I mean, can I yell in someone's brain?
I would say no.
they have to be
because it
accepting
counts
of
as- Yeah, they have to. I would say
no,
no,
you
on the
don't-
basis of it counts as speaking to them, and like you can't speak at someone.
No, I can
making,
wake somebody
like,
up by
some
It'd
noise.
probably just really awkwardly merge into their dream, but not wake them up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that would happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Arena.
you don't have to allow telepathy. Monsters with telepathy can just talk to you,
Yeah.
but they can't hostilely read your mind.
Arena, make a perception roll, even though you are asleep. You have advantage and disadvantage on this, so it levels out.
Weird. Okay. 18.
Okay, and let me.
Do you recall I'm shining bright light for 5 feet and dim light for
Okay.
5 more?
Yeah. So, Perrin Gatton, as you begin to go around the edge of the tent, Arena, you're sharing a tent with Cyrus, and
Sure.
you feel kind of a weird tug around your neck, and you kind of wake up. And you see, standing on top of you, a tiny, like, we're talking like 6-inch tall figure with blonde kind of white hair that goes back in a shocking trail, almost like a hugely wind-blown amount of long hair that's just back. Very sharp, pointed, angular features, all blue, little beady eyes, and currently trying to pull the key out from around your neck, and has a tiny little knife.
I don't
and
have
they're
the key in
trying
my
to
neck.
saw. Oh, you do. In which case, they're trying to nick your bag of holding. I forgot that. They're currently trying to nick your bag of holding out of your pocket, and it's just they're pulling it out, and it's something where you get advantage to feel it because it's right on your person, and they're currently yanking it out from your pocket right now. And you see them standing on your hip, and they're like,
Arena like quickly gets up and smacks the little.
"That's
I don't
where
know,
we'll
is
roll
it a
initiative."
brownie or something. Yeah, I was like,
I need you to roll initiative to begin with. Gatton and Perrin will roll initiative already because they're informed, and then Cirrus won't roll initiative for now, but will
21. Whew.
alerted.
Did all right with the 14. 4 from Gatton, 21 from Arena.
Oh,
Would I have awoken when
No.
she's okay?
She felt it, and she hasn't smacked it yet. This is like we're going to roll initiative because
Okay.
you both of them.
but
have
you
realized
will
each other
whenever
now.
I shout at it.
Okay.
Because I am going to be like, hey, smack it out of the way.
Okay, and then my initiative. Sorry, I've got so many things up because I'm now doing the. Oh. Okay. Okay, Arena. You wake up, see this thing standing on your hip. It looks at you. You lock eyes. Okay. You're currently prone with a tiny figure standing on your hip.
I'm just gonna kind of like hit it out, like push it out of the way. I don't know what I need to roll for that.
It's effectively an unarmed attack. So it would be a strength with proficiency.
I don't. Just can I just roll a strength check and then?
Yeah, and then just add your proficiency bonus, which is 3.
This is gonna be really bad. 12.
Oh yeah, it's effectively a shove. You don't have proficiency in athletics, though, do you?
Athletics, no. So a 9.
As you move your hand, it blurs with motion and just appears to like vault straight over your hand, landing back on your hip.
And I will kind of like get up and be like,
Hey, what are you doing? Get away.
Okay.
And that's probably when you can wake up, Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus, you like blink as you hear this, and you like the very quick movement of Arena standing up jostles you. You can roll initiative now.
Okay.
And I guess Mecha Pietro's outside, so.
Mecha Pietro's outside. Unfortunately, I rolled 28 to get past him.
He just hears me saying something, probably.
But Mecha Pietro has a high enough passive perception that Mecha Pietro will be active now in the next round because it's your turn's ended. Then they have to listen. So.
Okay.
Actually, no, you can order them as bonus action, so you can order them straight away. So actually, yeah, you can just do that with your bonus action on this turn.
Yeah, I guess he'll just come into the door, like block it so it can't leave the tent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, effectively engage in combat range so that it can't. Yeah. It's go. It's going to, as it stands there, kind of like pushed off you, it catches itself as you stand up, and then it's just going to blur and try and zip around between Mecha Pietro's feet. There is an attack of opportunity, both from you. You're not wielding a melee weapon, though, are you? Cyrus, although Cyrus is only just awoke and prone and not wielding a melee weapon, although will allow unarmed attacks, and also Mecha Pietro. So that's 3 attacks of opportunity.
Bonus. Oh, I guess it's not a turn. I was gonna say bonus action, like pull out a weapon. But...
Yeah, not a turn.
Mecha Pietro will attack. Let's see.
Disadvantage because it is currently blurred with how fast it's moving.
All right, disadvantage. 16.
Just hits.
Ooh. A little 4 slashing. A little claw shoot. Oh, it gets 2 hits, right?
No,
because it's attack of opportunity. Yeah.
And if you, Arena, and Cyrus want to make unarmed attacks as attacks of opportunity, you can do so. You don't have to.
Sure, it's not going to be good. I have terrible strength.
There's a chance it'll work, in which case it'll be badass.
Nat 1, I got a 0. I rolled a 0.
As Cyrus wakes up, your fist almost climbs to the side of her head, and she has to like quickly do like a little head bob as the fist goes past her head.
I'm not meant for this, but I just love the idea of Arena being like, hey, like, just like freaking out.
And then like the tent falls down on you, you're like, whoa! Okay.
Oh my god.
I feel like if
I'm like tangled up in a blanket.
Yeah, and if a fist is coming at my face, if I'm like, I like to hold my sickle all times, but I feel like it's fallen out of my hand because I avoided that.
Yep.
I don't think I would make an attack just because I'm trying to get a bearings of what's happening right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So as it darts, it doesn't even need to avoid Arena. She is much closer to hitting Cyrus than she is to actually hitting this creature, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Mecha Pietro acts quickly and with actual like grace and poise, actually managed to just about catch the edge of it. And you can see that suddenly, like where this blur has disappeared, there is a quick splatter of what appears to be slightly glimmering blood.
Ooh.
But it does appear to immediately like bolt out the door. That makes it Perrin. Perrin, you see something as you come around the corner of the tent go, and how far does your dark vision go?
Oh, I think it's 30 feet. Let's see. Oh no, it's. Hang on, I'm just gonna print it.
60 feet.
Yeah, 60 feet of dim, and then I think that's it.
It goes incredibly fast. It looks like it actually just went into the darkness beyond where you can see.
Ah, damn. Can I pull this off?
Oh yeah, use your thing where you can keep it in one spot.
You have to be able to see it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna run 30 feet in the direction it disappeared.
Okay. You still can't see it.
Damn it, it moved more than 90 feet?
Either that or it's hidden. We can't see it.
Damn it, because the range on obscure enemy is 60 feet. So if it was within 60 feet of me and I knew where it was, I could make it freeze for a minute. Can I look for it, or is that going to be an action to do so?
Yeah, it'll be a reaction to look for. I was using passive perception.
But you could point it out to like Gatton. Otherwise, no one's gonna see it probably.
It's just, is Gatton going to be able to stop it?
He might be able to run and grapple it or something. I don't know.
What should I do?
Damn it! I was like, maybe I could divine sense, but that would also be an action. But I guess that's the best I can do. Like, I'm gonna divine sense in case the thing is celestial, fiend, or undead, and it would alert me.
You
to
have
its
to
position.
pick one. There has been a clarification to that. Which one would you like to pick?
No.
Celestials, Fae, or Fiends, and yeah, we have to choose now.
Hey.
Did I see what it looks like?
You saw a blur of what appeared to be mostly blue.
I'll try fiend.
Okay. You reach
probably
out with your
Fae.
senses and try and detect what's nearby. Nothing.
Scanning for fiends. No fiends
Yeah,
detected.
it's probably Fae.
Okay.
But it makes sense for Perrin to look for fiends.
Yeah,
End of
it's
your
like something moving extremely fast has snuck up on us and done a thing. I'm gonna look for fiends.
Okay. That's the end of your turn.
There's nothing else I can do.
Okay. Skeleton,
You did good. Scatten.
But I'm aware. I can see at least where Perrin went, right? Like he's like on the trail of it, even though I know he can't see it. He's like,
yeah,
I
he
went
just
that
went
way.
I've only moved
Yeah.
moved 30 feet, so.
Which is like the edge of your light. You can vaguely see the edge of Perrin looking out into the darkness beyond.
I would like to wild shape into a spider and head that direction because I have blind sight as a spider, and so if I get close enough, it should not be able to hide from me.
Okay. What's the range on your blind sight?
10 feet.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna walk forward and see if I am.
You walk forwards what is it, 30 feet on a spider or 40?
Yeah, hang on, let me double check. Sorry. Spider is 30 feet.
Yeah. You walk forwards 30 feet until you're next to Perrin. You don't see it or detect it in any way. You have an action left.
I mean, technically, I don't have to see something to shoot at it. I just roll with disadvantage. Unless it's
Only
like,
if you know vaguely where it is. If you don't know where it is, you can't really be like, I just shoot randomly in a direction and I still have a pretty good chance of hitting it. You need to know where it is to be able to make an attack.
I'll have Pew detect magic.
Okay. There's a slight shimmer over your vision as you have the world around you become... Can you wear Pew? I guess you can wear Pew because Pew is part of your person. Yes.
Yeah, he's inside of me, yeah.
Yep.
I said what I said.
Yep. That's the metal bit that fills the metal hole in the armor. Yeah, there's shimmers around you, and you can now detect this very obvious metal statue next to you is full of magic, but there's nothing else currently on your radar. That brings us
this
to...
is Yeah, well, Pew has his own action, so theoretically I still can do something.
Pew casts it for you, so like I
Does
think
he?
you have to
Does Pew
request
takes
it.
my action?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to request it of it, because otherwise Pew has to. It's effectively an NPC that you use the action of. Becomes part
Got
of
it.
you.
Okay. Well then.
Cyrus.
That's it then.
So I'm inside of the tent right now, correct?
And you saw just this little figure for a moment, and then just a blur of movement.
Okay. I'm gonna run out of the tent and attempt to locate it. And I'm not sure if I probably have to be. Can I see the creature at all, or can I catch it?
I cannot see it. You walk out 30 feet. You're now next to a spider and to Perrin.
You have to roll to perceive it.
Okay.
It's probably stealthing.
Your dark vision
Because I
range
had-
is 60.
I
so-
wish I had fairy
Yeah.
fire or something like that. I don't have it trained right now. I have it. I just can't.
Because I can't see it, I don't want to cast this. So can I try to see it?
Yeah, you can make
Just
a
it-
perception check to try and look for it.
Okay.
It will be at disadvantage because it's in dim light for you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Do you want me-
Oh man, that was a crit.
All right. I'll roll
That
it
would've
again
been
with
cool.
disadvantage. Okay.
Oh,
21.
Not bad. Yeah, I'll take it.
wow, you did two 27s in a row. What the bananas?
Yeah, could you not just count because the next roll that was rolled was
Technically,
another
the
nat
next
20.
roll was a nat 20.
Yeah, it actually is 2 nat 20s in a row the way you've done it. So yeah, 2 nat 20s in a row. So it's a 27.
Come on, give it to her. Yeah.
The one you were looking for seemed to go straight ahead, and as you look out and you start like focusing, you can't see where it went. But then a slight flicker of motion catches your eye, and you notice that there's one off to the side of you, about 30 feet away, and then one off to the other side and a little bit behind you.
So they're okay. I'm gonna yell out to everyone. There's two of them.
And you get a momentary, as one of them like turns mid-movement to look at you, it slows down a bit just to be like, oh shit, I've been spotted. And you can see again this little figure, very blue, like a kind of a royal blue kind of skin tone with beady eyes that are kind of a golden greenish tint. White hair that streaks along behind them, blown back by the wind almost into a point, and a tiny little tunic, what appears to be almost like a needle as a sword.
Okay. So was my perception considered my action?
Yeah, because you had to deliberately look for them to try and spot them.
Are they really ugly like mites? Like how mites are really ugly?
They're just very, very angular features, like almost like they're
more
very
like
like
a
designed
fairy.
to go fast.
Gotcha.
You can point them out, however, the free action. You can be like, they're over there. if you
That's
want.
what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say there's one over there and there's one over there and try to like quickly point out to Perrin and Gatton where they're located so we can at least maybe get a lock on them.
Okay.
So Pietro can see.
There's a very high pitch, just suddenly like a from one side of you, and then you hear Pietro behind you go,
That was very fast. But that one just said something like, oh, we're buggered.
Oh, they're talking in Sylvan. Nice.
It's like, oh, nice one, Pietro.
yeah.
This is already coming in useful.
And Arena, you're up.
All right. Arena will run out from the tent, and I guess I didn't see where they were pointed out, so I don't know where they are, right?
Yeah, because you're inside the tent at the time.
So I have to look. So I think she'll look around to see
You
where
can
they
also
are.
you can hold your action as well if you want.
True. She'll hold. Yeah, I'll hold my crossbow out, and if I see them, I will shoot. I'm gonna stand next to Mecha Pietro. Actually, I'll stand next to Cyrus, and then Cirrus, and then.
You can't quite get Cirrus because you've less movement. You'll be 5 foot away, so you'll be like a little bit behind her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
And then Mecha Pietro will run up and attack one of them, or try to. Can he try to grapple? Just like grapple one of them?
Miek Pietro again can't Oh, no, Mecha Pietro's outside, so can see where they were indicated.
Yeah.
Mecha Pietro, what Mecha Pietro's movement?
He moves 40.
He can reach the one that's behind and off to the left, and yes, can try and grapple. Yeah, sure.
All right, yeah. Is that athletics?
Yeah, that'd be athletics.
All right, he's gonna try to grapple. 7. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. And also you have disadvantage as it is currently blurred. But even
Okay,
then,
let me do one
you
more.
still fail. It's fine.
Let's see if it would be worse.
Okay.
No, it would have 22.
With absolute startling movement, as Mecha Pietro charges forwards and tries to grab this thing, it just goes runs a circle around Mecha Pietro.
Yeah, and he's slow. Chung, 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 chung.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. One of them is going to dart in from the side and make an attack roll against Arena.
Hi, me.
I wonder why. Actually, no. It's going to throw, so they're going to make a ranged attack roll.
They're gonna like fire a toothpick. Like
They have advantage because you can't see the source of the attack. This one is hidden to you.
so impromptu acupuncture.
And yeah, that's a hit. You can't use shield against this one because you aren't aware of it, so you can't use a reaction against it. So it's a hit. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is it magical?
No.
Okay. I get advantages on magical things.
Yeah.
14.
That is a pass.
Whew. Glad.
So you take.
Worried that you had to check.
You take 5 points of piercing damage as this tiny, needle, sliver of metal hits you in the neck from, the other side as you look back around, and you can then feel this kind of burning sensation and kind of drowsiness come over you. But you manage to just about, push through it and keep your eyes open. From the other side, the one engaging Mecha Pietro is gonna just run away. Attack of opportunity.
Okay.
A disadvantage.
Come on. Mecha Pietro. 17.
Even at disadvantage again, that hits.
Woohoo. 6. Slash-oo.
This one that tries to dash away, just the claws come down, although you don't see what happens. They do seem to connect, and there's a tuft of hair and a little splatter of blood hits the ground. This one is also going to make an attack roll against Arena. Arena couldn't see this one either because you only just went out.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I did hold an action for when I do see one.
Actually, yeah, the one that attacked you, as soon as it attacked you, it became visible, so you can make an attack roll. It will be disadvantage because it's many reasons, actually, but it's the disadvantage attack roll.
10.
Unfortunately, the crawl goes somewhere in the direction of this blurred blue streak. The one that was engaging Pietro hits. And from the other side, as you turn around, fire the quarrel in the back of the neck. There's a metal sliver hits you right in the back of the neck. Let's choose a saving throw.
Again? They really want to put me to sleep. Let's see. We're not seeing your rolls, by the way. Are we supposed to see your rolls?
Nope, you never see my rolls.
9.
Okay, this one you fail.
Oh no.
And yes, you do fail it by 5 or more. You take 2 points of piercing damage. And then you take 10 points of poison damage. And you are unconscious.
Okay.
As you collapse to the ground. The one in front both Gatton and Perrin, you see this flash of movement go past you. From the direction you were both looking, you're like, is there anything out there? Poof, goes straight past you. Not close enough for attack of opportunity. And appears to then go up to where Arena is just collapsed on the floor. Pulls out a little bag. It's now holding her bag of holding, but has only managed to move like 10 feet before it runs that movement. That makes it Perrin's go.
I was trying to decide who we best use this on, and they've decided it for me. The one that's grabbed the bag. I hold out my Symbol of Erithus and say, "Stop right there. Erithus demands retribution."
In the name of Erithus. I love it. It's like you're like a police badge. Freeze!
It's a wisdom saving throw unless it's immune to being frightened.
Okay.
If it's a fiend, then it has disadvantage. I'm assuming it's not a fiend.
Sorry.
You asked if it was a fiend already, right?
Yeah. Well, it could have been that I didn't see it because it was at a site before. So.
17.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry. Gatton.
Its speed is halved for 1 minute.
Even on fail? Damn it!
Yeah, or until it takes damage.
Okay. Alright, Gatton, you're up.
Hit it with my web, which does not hurt it.
Oh, can I also move up into combat range with it?
Yes, you may. You're in combat range.
So if it does try and move away, I can stab it.
Yeah, move up, move as close as I can, and then shoot it.
Okay. Disadvantage because of the blurred movement ability.
Even with its speed halved?
Even with speed halved.
Even with my blind sight?
Even with your blind sight, because it's moving so fast. Unfortunately, misses.
That's it for me.
Okay. Cirrus, you see this blue blur run up as Arena's falling. Just run up her body. As she's still falling, pull the bag out of her pocket. She hits the ground and then darts off a little bit. Your go. You would get an attack of opportunity, actually, when it did that. So if you want to make an attack of opportunity, you have a chance. Cirrus, if you want to make an attack of opportunity.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was Gatton. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, no, I
I'm
forgot
done.
that as it went past you, because it was close enough to Arena, you should have had an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Then can I try to hit it with my sickle?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just try as it's running by. I'm just gonna try to like catch it as I see it out of the corner of my eye. 12.
Unfortunately, it's a miss.
Okay.
You'll go.
Okay, so I want to cast Shield of Faith on all three of them.
Can you cast that on multiple targets?
Oh, sorry, aid. I meant to say aid. I want to cast aid onto all three of them. Choose up to 3 creatures within range. Each target hit point maximum and current hit points increased by 5 for the duration.
Okay.
So I want to cast.
Sure. It's a bonus. It's actually your action. So up to 3 creatures all have their hit points increased by 3.
Take HP.
Yeah. So all 3 of you, your hit point max is increased by 5, and it also increases.
So just when I see that she's getting hit and she's like falling down, I immediately feel like I need to boost to everybody, and I close my eyes and just like little wisps of white smoke fly off my fingers, and it's like they travel to each of their bodies and almost go inside of their skin.
You
can see them all kind of have a slightly healthier glow as it moves throughout them. Arena is still unconscious, so.
Yeah.
And now is when
Extra fluffy spider.
Yeah. And now is when I'd like to cast Shield of Faith over.
You may only cast 1 spell per turn.
Oh, per turn. Oh, even though it's a bonus
Sorry.
action?
Even though it's a bonus action, yeah. You
Okay.
may cast a bonus action cantrip if you've got one. Or if you want to undo that and cast Shield of Faith and then with an action do something else, I'll let you undo that. It's
No,
one
I
of
think I'm
those
gonna leave.
lesson spells.
Yeah, I think I'll leave aid, and then I'll just.
You can move into combat distance with this thing if you want.
I'm gonna stay next to her because I want to move closer to.
Slap me away.
If you want, you can be next to her and next to this thing because there's only like 5-foot gap. So if you want, you can be next to both.
All right, then that's what I think I'll do for my turn. Is just place myself between the two of them if I can.
Sure. Unfortunately, Arena, you're unconscious. There is no save. You are unconscious. It's their go.
But when I'm unconscious, Pietro stuck the stick.
Will act as if smarts and stuff. Sure. What would Mech Pietro like to do in this situation?
Probably try to grab that fairy again.
Okay.
The one that's trying to take my bag, right?
Yeah. It's got your bag.
Oh, got my bag. Yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna go for that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, this one's painted a big old target on itself because I don't think it even understands the value of what it is.
Should he grab it or should he like claw at it?
If you want, you can do non-lethal with melee attacks. It does look severely hurt. Like, it's bleeding quite copiously. Like, the little creature, it's moving at very fast, but you can see its movements are much more erratic now.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know if because we probably want to figure out where these are coming from, right? Like, I think he's just gonna claw shoot it. He's just gonna attack.
Sure.
A disadvantage, you said?
Yep.
He gets 2 attacks. So let's see. 7 does not hit.
Nope.
His second attack will be a 12, which does not hit,
No,
right?
sorry. But is in opportunity attack range.
I bet she's just like, it's like a fly swatter and there's just like a little fly and it's like, ah.
Okay, that makes it... You know what?
No, that's important. You're not getting that.
The hatch pops open and Pietro jumps out and is going to attempt to tackle. Pietro is going to make a athletics roll. Could you do that, please?
Oh no.
Pietro understands how important that is to you. Pietro is now privy to all the secrets. So.
I know. And he's an NPC, so. Oh no, Pietro. So you want me to make a what?
Athletics. He's attempting to make a grapple roll.
His athletics is so bad.
Yep.
Okay. 5.
I don't think I can roll that low, sorry. 19. Pietro just goes straight past this blur. That makes it their go. The one in front of you, with the bag, is going to just like try and run away. Mecha Pietro is going to get a disadvantaged opportunity attack, and so is Cirrus.
And so
Cyrus,
would.
sorry.
Oh no.
Both Gaten and Perrin all said we were moving close enough to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And little Pietro.
Surrounded.
And little Pietro, right?
And little Pietro, true.
Yeah,
So
technically.
all of you can make disadvantaged opportunity attacks. 9 miss.
13.
Miss. Good attempt though, Pietro.
Yeah.
Miss.
5.
Miss.
10.
Oh my gosh! No, you guys! All my
Like,
stuff
it's
is in
just
that
like-
bag.
It's like two swords, a claw, and a sickle all clashing in the middle of this, of where the thing
9.
was a second ago.
Yeah, like it's just like this zigzag of movement as you all like try and hit it on the ground. There's just a flash of movement as it darts. It has reduced speed, so it only can go so far. It's going to take its action to dash, so it speeds off into the darkness
God.
again.
Oh
The other two
my
that you're aware
God.
of, each just off into the darkness in other directions as well.
We'll chase it. I mean, we're not just
Yeah.
being like, oh, you've got the bag of holding, so I
Yeah.
guess I'm
Bear in mind
blindside
that
after
you're
it.
lucky because it's had to go the other way now, so it's gone past the embers of your campfire, so it will be around the embers of the campfire, so it will be visible. It's not in pure darkness. That brings us to Perrin.
Right. How far away is the one with the bag?
It's around the edge of the tent, so you can't see because it went around the tent. But if you move, you can look around the edge of the tent.
Okay, I will move 30 feet.
It is 90 feet away.
Okay. I have options. Just 90 feet away, having moved 30 feet.
It moved 120, even though you halved its speed.
Jesus, okay, I can still work with this. Oh wait, no, can I? Crap. You can't do a bonus action spell and an action spell in the same turn, can you?
Nope.
If one's a cantrip.
If one is a cantrip, you can.
Yep.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Damn it.
If you want, you could wake Arena up with your action before moving if you wanted.
True. I just need someone to slap me. Or shake me, like wake me up.
Yeah, right. Is that like a free action or like?
That's an action.
I guess if the yeah.
If you have nothing ranged, you could do that and then move 30 feet.
Otherwise,
Yeah. Okay. I'll slap Arena. We're like, it went that way. Get him.
Arena, you are awoken by a slap across the face.
Do you really slap her?
You kind of have to. You are unconscious. Like
yeah.
it is a slap. It's not damaging, but it is a slap. Like that
It's
sharp
just
shock
like
to the
wakes,
face.
wakes up.
Yeah, this metal hand has just slapped you.
Yeah. Someone in chat pointed out there is one way I could have done it, but the odds were still pretty slim.
Okay.
Because my plan was, until I realized that's 2 spells, is run 30, Misty Step 30, I'm within 60, command drop or hold person.
Ooh, cunning, but
Which is-
yeah.
Yeah, I'd have exactly the range, but it's 2 spells. But they suggested Misty Step and then throw Javelin, but I've not had a good track record with Javelin.
So you want to
could
slap
be the
Arena.
one
Arena wakes up.
javelin.
You move 30. You've got bonus action left. If you still want to Misty, you can.
Yeah.
I'll Misty Step, so I'm
Do
at
it.
30
Okay.
feet closer to it, but I'm still 60 feet away.
You see Perrin kind of just swirl a little bit as he runs, and then turn into mist and bolt forwards before reappearing out of his run at the other end.
Sick.
Gotten.
That's so cool.
Run after it, come out of wild shape, reckless attack, hurl a spear at it.
Okay, how far can you move? Is the spider 30?
I believe the spider's 30. Yep, spider's 30.
So you move 30.
Okay.
You're now 90 away from it. You want to come out of wild shape?
Oh, I thought
no,
it was
could've-
90 feet away because it
I'm
moved.
so dumb.
What?
I'm so dumb. I could have Hunter's Marked it because that's 90 feet.
I mean, I haven't done anything yet, so.
Can I do
Yeah,
that?
you-
Can
You
I
can
do
I can
hunt
that?
still be
mark
asleep.
instead of Misty. Sure.
Yes.
Oh,
okay, I
okay,
Hunter's
for that.
Marked the thing.
That makes more sense.
I thought it was 90 feet away because it had moved 120 feet total.
No, it's 120 feet from you. It's 90 feet from Perrin because Perrin's gone after it.
Yeah, I moved.
He went
30
30.
on
Got
foot,
it.
and then was.
I get
trying
as
to work
close
out
as
what
I
could
can.
do.
So if I mean, am I going to be at a disadvantage because there's no point in the reckless attack?
Yes.
I mean, the whole point of the reckless attack was to cancel out the disadvantage.
That's, you will be disadvantaged, but it's also if you are going to be in range of it. How are you going to get in range of it?
I'm going to move 30 feet and yeet a spear,
Okay, sure.
or yeet a javelin. Rather.
You'll be at disadvantage regardless then. So like, no point in doing the reckless, as
does-
you say.
But does not I gave myself advantage. I cannot get multiple
Oh
sources
yeah,
of
sure, yeah.
disadvantage.
If you,
so
yeah,
it's,
that's true.
Yeah,
If you
Yeah.
want to, then you
yeah. Just
run 30 as a spider, just plug. You're
Yeah.
going, and then you ball out of it, pop into Gettin, and then
Yep.
off the javelin
It's a
goes.
Yeah.
single shot. So let's go. I haven't thrown a javelin in a while, Perrin. It's like old times.
We haven't.
I've only
like you
got the
said,
one.
We haven't had great track record.
We've had
22. Nice. That hits,
Oh.
right?
You see this tiny blur zip past the campfire. Gatton just goes.
Roll
and you see
that
the javelin
damage.
go up. You actually see the javelin go out of your sight because it goes out of your range of your dark vision. Then you see the javelin just come down from the sky, and this blur just goes ping as it gets pinned to the ground.
Nice. Yeah.
Kebab anyone?
Exactly 4 damage.
Yeah.
I'll
Apparently.
give you the option then, because you exactly hit its HP and not over, if you want to, because it is technically a melee weapon with a ranged attack. Because thrown weapons are weird. Do you want it to be a non-lethal?
To take it alive? Yes, because you've asked twice now, so I feel like for some reason
Maggie
that's
brought it up the
important.
first time round, which is why I brought it
I
up.
brought it up because we might want to like know who's trying to take my shit.
I mean, they're just
They
pixies. They
speak
have no
the
reason not
language
to.
and they were
But
going
I
for
can
something specific.
I can justify this. I can justify this as Gaddon is they're forest creatures. It's following its nature. Like I don't have to be unduly cruel. So yes, was trying to staple it.
It just
Although
javelin from the heavens just goes straight down, and like I imagine it like skims the back of its head, goes straight down its jerkin, and it gets like almost comically goes pling bang into the javelin and knocks itself unconscious.
it's
Cute.
are we out of combat with this? Because there's something I would like to do
There's
if
still one
possible.
more.
I haven't reduced it. Well, I've reduced that one to 0 though. The other ones ran, unless they ran the other direction.
They
are
are
we? If we're in
outside the
combat,
range
we're-
of your dark vision. Put it that way.
Right. Well, if we're still in combat, then it's her turn. But if we're out of combat, I'm gonna do a thing. So
Okay, it's Cyrus's turn.
okay.
Okay, so we're not out of combat. So can I see the other one?
No, both of them ran towards the edge and just seemed like they were running away. But you see that the one that seemed to have whatever prize they were looking for get knocked unconscious and pinned to the ground with a javelin. Bag's still next to it. It's 120 feet away, but you can
Okay.
see it. Because there's the embers of the campfire still giving off a slight glow around there.
How's Arena looking right now?
I'm 18 out of 35, but technically 40 because you gave me extra 5.
So
Okay,
she's okay.
she's
yeah.
okay. I want to try. I'm going to use my action to scan for the other one to see if I can see it.
Okay. Make a perception check at disadvantage because of the dim light.
Okay.
Ooh, 22.
They are not in your vision
Dang.
radius.
Your
You're pretty
rolls are
certain.
all 20s. What
Unless
is
they are
this?
very good at stealth, they're probably not where you can see them.
Okay. I don't see the other ones. And I just yell out to the group, and I don't have any bonus action. Oh,
You can
no, I don't
move.
have. Yeah, I'm gonna move forward towards the one with the bag, so I'm getting closer to it.
It'll be
And I'm gonna
90
use my
feet
full.
away.
Yeah, so since I am 30 feet, I'm just gonna, or speed, I'm gonna go do the 30.
Yeah. Okay. Arena, your turn.
Arena immediately shakes her head, gets a little groggy from whatever the heck just happened, and will bolt towards the bag, which I can only go 25 feet because it takes.
If you want to sprint, you
me-
can go 50.
Well, no, because I have to get up. Doesn't that take my?
Oh yeah, you are prone. That's true. So
Takes my
you can
action,
go...
so-
No, it takes half your move. So if you want, you can go 35 with the sprint.
Yeah, so
Take
I
you
can't
5
go.
feet in front of
that-
Perrin.
Yeah, I'll run forward, and then Mecha Pietro will also run over and try to pick up the bag. If
Mecha Pietro's
he has
movement
40 feet.
is 40. He can get within 40 of it if he sprints.
Okay, sprinting, yeah, towards the bag, and then little
Pietro's
Little
gonna be like, I can't run that fast. Pietro's just gonna sit
Yeah.
there.
little Pietro.
There go.
Little Pietro can go 20 feet, so he could go 40 feet. He could
Oh,
probably catch
yeah.
up to me, and I could pick him up or something.
I think he's probably gonna run up the back of your leg and just like grapple. No, he can't. That takes an action. He's gonna run next to you
Yeah.
and be like, pick him up as a free action.
Yeah.
Can he try and intimidate them in Sylvan?
He doesn't
He's
know where they
intelligent.
are,
He
so...
speaks their language. I mean, they just
You know
have to
what?
hear him.
Sure. Pietro's gonna be like,
I believe in you, Pietro.
You come back here, or we'll come get you.
Wait, which one's Pietro?
Say it with your
It's
chest,
the one-
Pietro.
Head
Oh,
in.
there we go. Look,
Yeah.
Don't come back here. Oh, we'll get you, and then we'll do what we did to that one.
feel free to make an intimidate roll as Pietro.
He has a -3 to this.
Wow.
This is so bad.
Doesn't matter if he nat
You
20.
still roll a 20.
4.
Never mind.
Wow.
He says that from behind Arena. Okay, there go. You see a blur of blue appear next to the one who's unconscious and the bag. That's its go.
Damn it. Oh, it doesn't get it.
Yeah,
No.
you can move the hunter's mark. I'm just like,
Oh yeah, I was waiting for another one to be in sight. Bonus action, switch the hunter's mark to that guy.
Okay.
yeah, I think you can move. Or, yeah, your
And
target.
then-
Oh, but yeah, he's unconscious either way, so he's defeated. You can definitely move it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
You're
60
90.
feet to the bag, right?
90. You didn't miss the step. You hunted mark.
Oh, I didn't miss the step. In that case, maybe I will hold on to the hunter's mark.
No, mark him.
But like, I could get the bag. Is my thing.
Well, yeah, okay. You make your choice.
Getting the bag is important. That's for sure.
We got an unconscious one already. If we don't need to collect the whole bunch. I'm going to bonus action, Misty Step 30 feet, run 30 feet, dash 30 feet, grab the bag.
Okay, free action. You just go like this series of jumps as you like begin running. You go through that misty like forwards dash, then you dash further and quickly lay your hand on the bag. As you look up, there's this tiny figure also trying to do the same, looks at you, and then just goes
Thanks for laugh.
and dashes off. We're out
Bag
of
of
combat time.
opportunity.
You can make an
Wait,
attack
no,
if you really want.
Smite,
No, they
smite.
would take a disengage action. They can still run
Okay.
faster than you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And as Arena
It
groggily
wasn't
is
its
still like
turn. I know
shaking her
you
head,
wanted to
pulling
live.
the tiny little metal like slithers out of her neck, Cyrus has joined your group. Your bag's almost been stolen, and you
I'm
have
just
a
like,
small
I'm
blue
just white
prisoner.
knuckle gripping this bag like, nobody get this bag.
I realize we're almost out of time, but like Gadden very much like grabs this one that's asleep, yank the javelin out, and just like squeeze a good berry in his mouth. Wake up. But I very much have it.
Parents like nobody's getting this. Just pulls belt open.
True. Put your medal over it, buddy.
Oh my god.
With that, we are gonna end for today. We'll be back next week with the squeezing of the good berry and then the squeezing of the prisoner, who is literally like yay tall, tiny blue fella with white streak of hair.
It's like Pietro size.
Yeah. Also, feel free, anyone who wants to make me a nature roll.
Okay.
I would ask Pew.
Pew will make it for you. Oh no, you have
Yeah.
nature because
I
of the
mean,
new
yeah, I have
barbarian
nature.
thing. Yeah.
23.
Natural
Well, yeah.
one.
It's not showing up as a
The
oh,
one for the
okay.
crit list.
Although I'm gonna have Pew look anyway, because Pew might know something I
Pew
don't.
doesn't have nature now. Pew has Arcana history instead.
Oh
changed
yes,
that, yeah.
yes.
So
I'm a freaking druid. How could I not know what a pixie is? But okay, all right, sorry.
Arena.
It's like it's a really
23
small
is the
blue
only one.
man.
Exactly, bizarre.
Arena,
Wonder how it
you know what
tastes.
these are? These are quicklings. Their entire thing is that they are tiny, like, pixie-type creatures who are incredibly fast. And incredibly fast and very good at it. And they are kind of tricksy, chaotic-y by nature. And they're just ridiculous. Like, they travel 120 feet without dashing.
That's
No.
crazy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I will.
with that, we'll be back next week. Right, let's go through our outro.
Woo.
Watching. Let's start off with what have we got today on our list of things? Finley Sherds, thank you very much for supporting today's episode. Making possible to do all the things. The last ditch character sheets are now out on Patreon. The Gulthius tree is now on Patreon. Holiday surprise. If you're a Patreon, go to our Patreon and then go to the holiday thing because there's a holiday surprise to be had. That's it. Cool. Right, let's go around everyone and see where you can catch people until next week. Of course, I think we should start with Katie. Who are you? What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Katie Peters Plays. It was a lot of fun today. I'm like already ready for another encounter with you all. Yeah, I play over on my channel on Twitch at Katie Peters Plays. On Twitter, I'm Play Katie Play because my name was too long to fit in the handle. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow morning on my channel playing games super early. So yeah, thank you all for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining. I know it's always weird to join in the middle of all the chaos that's happening, but
Yeah, especially segueing in and out of like a scene. Oh, you want to talk to a cleric? I guess go talk to this cleric. Someone spots you? I guess the cleric spots you. Do you want to buy a cart? Give us a sec. They're buying a cart. Okay, now you can join me.
No, it's awesome, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Dave, what about you?
B. Dave Walters to say words about things. I'm doing just a ton of stuff for World Builders and a bunch of other charity stuff over the next week, one of which was just announced, which is kind of a big deal. So go check out my Twitter at B. Dave Walters and stay around for a pretty big announcement we got to be making soon about a game next week. So yeah, follow me on the Twittergrams.
All right, Ben, what about you?
Hello, my name is Bentham, and then because I never thought this would take off, I have a YouTube channel called Mangled Pork Gaming, and a Twitch channel called Mangled Pork, where sometimes I play games and sometimes I don't. This is one of the times where I don't, because still moving. I got my desk delivered today. I'm gonna go and assemble it in 30 minutes when we finish the after show. So we're getting there. It's slowly happening, but that's what I've been up to, really, not much else.
You mean when the after show has been tabled?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll concede on that one.
Maggie, what about you?
Hi, I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. I do lots of things on the internet. If you follow me on any of those social platforms, I'll let you know whenever I'm doing the things. I'm here on Roll For It on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Saturdays I'm mostly just behind the scenes, but yeah, come watch all of the goodies. We have a lot of cool shows if you want to watch more fun things. And I do a lot of other stuff. Like I said, I'll let you know whenever those things are live if you follow me on the socials. And my day job is also making video games for a living. I currently work on a game called Ashes of Creation. So if you want to check out my game, go there. All the places, Ashes of Creation. And Elysium, where can people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/Elysium, where next week I'll be starting an Aurora Forex C# campaign, which is going to be interactive with roleplay elements and stuff, and there'll be governments and people will be voting and getting elected, and it's going to be madness. Okay, bye.
Right, in terms of what we had today in the way of tips, I believe we had one. Which voice shall I use for this?
What is this voice? Sure, let's use this one. Oh, which was
Your god's voice.
which was this one?
I think it was that one.
This one. This one. No.
Maybe.
No? This one? No.
This one.
This one?
This one? I think I overrode it. And now, if we're going to talk, is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Anyway.
Hello, is this thing on? This is your god speaking.
This is your god speaking to you. Hello? Hello? Oh god, wrong button. Right. Today, we had a little spree. Thank you. Vo, $1. Pietro, what is my purpose? Party. You pass butter. Thank you, Vo.
What?
Vo, $3.14. My grandfather became a star. That's rough, buddy.
That is rough, buddy. Yeah.
Vo, 5100, $3.14. Well, Pietro, when a mummy pangolin and a daddy pangolin love each other very, very much. Thank you very much, Vo. That's all these conversations and more you can find on OnlyPangs. Also, Finley Shards, $50. Thank you all for a great episode. Welcome to the Roll For It family, Katie. Amazing intro scene with Cyrus and Arena. Great to see Perrin get to have words with Plablin. Almost lost a bag of holding in that fun, furious, fast-failed, filching finale. Let me try that again. Almost lost the bag of that's not the hard touch. Almost lost the bag of holding in that fun, furiously, fast-filled, filching finale. No, it's not that hard. Apparently normal words are hard, tongue twisters aren't. Who knew? Anyway, thank you very much, Finley Shards, for that. We're going to go do an after show. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week with the continuation of Javelins from Heaven, the It's Getting RC story. Also, remember there's shows this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, including the continuation of Star Wars. But until next time, make sure you've got a sugar daddy god, whatever, because you get stuff. Bye.